switch to the correct overlay. Alrighty. Alright, stop that music. Hello everybody, welcome to Crabby D&D. I am here with my players, Sudz.
Hello.
Harlan.
Hello.
Sam.
Hello there.
Simon.
Hello.
Jamie.
Hi.
And Infernal.
Hello.
Right. User announcements. Thank you to Sasha for the artwork. Thank you to Tabletop Audio for the free music that you supply, which you listen to there. Thank you to, any combat maps were made on Dungeon Player Studio. Any non-combat maps and more detailed world maps, like this one up here, were made on Incarnate.com. Go check those out separately. And this is all done on Tabletop Simulator because, well, I'm not flying people from Macedonia and America over here. One, at a time like this, and two, that would be expensive.
It's really the expense thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I work in retail. I can't afford to do this each week. I don't get paid enough.
Well, hey. We could just pay to get them over here, and then if they want to go back, they have to find their own way, which we know they can't.
I'll just put them in cargo containers. It'll be fine.
See, Chris, you don't even need to do that. You just leave them in Shirrell Heath. No one can figure their way out of there unless they're from there.
There are signposts.
I only just about figure it out.
Yeah, I know. Good luck trying to find it. Making your way out, you'll find you just take a step and suddenly you're outside of it and you don't know why. Anyway.
Sure, you're suddenly in Wickham, and
yeah.
I have no idea if that's better or worse.
Let's be honest, living increases based on its
Depends where in Wickham.
Yeah, it does depend where in Wickham.
Is it where the gypsies are? It is where the gypsies are, let's face it. We could just leave these people for the gypsies and see what happens.
Stepping out of Shirrell Heath into Wickham, go into the council houses area, so...
Oh, they're the ones that decided to settle down.
Yes.
I
Then you keep going by. You get to the shop, or you get to one of the shops. Keep going. You go past a bunch of fields, and then you get to the main square where everything is. Anyway, this isn't part of D&D, so
more information about where
I don't
you
want to hear about
give
Wickham.
that to the internet, and then they can find you and hunt you down. If only the fact that Shirrell Heath is the smallest dot I've ever seen on a map.
And also the
Yeah,
fact that people would need to watch this. So, and they haven't just skipped past the intro. So...
Oh yeah, it's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
would they do such a thing? Yes, they would.
Yes, they would.
100%. They would. I would.
Yeah, they say don't put your details on the internet, so it could be very dangerous. You could end up with unwanted admirers. I mean, let's be honest, an admirer would be great. Right now.
Oh, Chris.
I don't care. If
I
you'd be
admire how
unwanted.
you keep on going despite how shit everything is.
I know, we're on episode 104.
Stuck with us lot.
Anyway,
Yeah, I
104
can admire that.
episodes, fucking
so
hell.
let us begin the session. Last session, our party of adventurers: Elsyan, Queglod, Sasha, Bern, Rook, and Feng. Well, less of Feng now, being sent or heading home back to Adamanthia. They took their rest, and as they slept, some of them had dreams. Some of the dreams were insightful, others were mystical, and one such dream was exciting. During this time, and while things were going on, Malcom had, after his dream, he saw various things he needed to see. A dragon, a baby dragon, being born. Hatched, in fact. As he saw this happening within the dream, he awoke and ran, heading out towards the tree in the back garden. Immediately casting transport via plants, a note being left behind, and transporting himself to the dragon sanctuary, he remained there for 4 days, proceeding to work with his baby dragon and kind of enjoy the company between the two of them, while also reading his book, otherwise increasing his knowledge of the world, how to see things that he otherwise wouldn't have noticed, whether they be details on a person, details on a horizon, or potentially details that allow them to find fresh food, water, or creatures. With Malcom out of the picture of the course of that day, the rest of the party proceeded about their business, finding the letter and doing a little bit of work to discover Elsyan's shard quest thing. Interest. While focusing on the shard, it was resonating from from something within town. As they went to investigate alongside Hurricane, they went to the central tower and found that inside the chamber where Regan was being kept, an individual who they had once met, an individual with a large syringe for an arm, the pulsing red crystal within and the red liquid, as a hole had been punctured straight through Regan's body, removing his heart. In that moment, the individual struck Hurricane, knocking him down and killing him instantly, before fleeing out the window. 4 out of the 5 party members did also. Free-falling, jumping, summoning Felipe, and otherwise flying, made their way down, trying to make their way towards the individual, coasting down the side of the tower, while Sasha remained behind with Hurricane and Regan's body. With a very instinctive call, using recall? Word of recall?
Word of recall.
As Sasha used Word of Recall after being attacked by a geist, Regan and Hurricane's bodies were transported back to the tavern as help was shouted for. The rest of the party attempted to stop the individual, but the individual was not alone. He had help. Another form, hooded and otherwise keeping themselves secret, cast various spells. One sunburst and teleport later. The hooded figure and the assassin escaped. To where, the party does not know. But they know that they are quite a ways away from where they currently stand. In that moment, various panicked motions were taken in place. Hurricane was revived, but is otherwise extremely frail and weak. The rest of the party set up defensive measures and proceeded to take action, guiding the city in the best course it should. Letting a little bit of word slip, setting 2 of the guards into a fearful motion, one had to be dealt with, killed and assassinated, while the other 2 were scared out of their wits and otherwise had their memories locked down. As the party proceeded to go about their business now, with time moving on, they move into the second day after taking action. As each of you wakes in the morning, you go about your usual morning rituals. Bern, as you wake, being one of the first to wake in this situation, you rise from bed, you prepare yourself for the morning. As you get up, you head downstairs.
Hold on, is this after the stuff we did?
This is day 2, so the arena and everything else hasn't happened. As you head downstairs, you see on the central table, you see again a small platter of bacon and egg butties. You see 2 guards standing there. Each of them have their own. As they see you, they kind of nod as you awake. The 2 guards waiting outside Hurricane's room and the 2 guards waiting outside Regan's room, along with the 2 inside, have also seemingly been armed with bacon butties. As you head down, you see the tray there. You hear Elsyan moving around now that there is movement outside. Is there anything you wish to do in the morning?
At this point, I'd probably just check all around the tavern.
Okay. Going around the bits of the tavern, you see Angus is hard at work, busy making various bacon and egg butties for the guards as he is supplying them with the food they need. The guards themselves are otherwise enjoying food and relaxing a bit, but still on guard and in motion, fully armed with their weapons and armor on. As you head into the central foyer, or the main tavern area and tavern floor, you see that Zuvan is the only other one of the members awake, as he is currently busy speaking to someone who looks in a more regal uniform. The individual is otherwise sat there talking, discussing a tabaxi like Hurricane, and the rest of the guards seem to be a mix between dwarf and human. But he is otherwise the only one awake out of your staff.
Don't pay them to sleep. What is this bullshit? I'm kidding, of course.
Is there anything you wish to do, Bern?
Wait, who was talking to the guy?
Zuvan, your manager, currently standing behind the bar, speaking to him.
Okay. I'll go up and Everything okay?
Yes, just getting caught up on what's going to be happening. This individual here is the person who's in charge of the guard while Regan was under. Regan was elsewhere. He's otherwise got a lot of the men here and guarding, waiting for the new individuals to arrive. Will be taking charge. We've otherwise fed his men. They've paid us for the compensation for the food and the hospitality, but otherwise we're keeping the guards fed and making sure everything's okay. Currently, the Bastard Sisters are outside, keeping the perimeter, rather than being in here with all the guards.
I see. Nice to meet you. Yes, that is fine.
Yes, nice to meet you. He puts out a claw. Much like Hurricane, he is a cheetah tabaxi.
I see. Fast. I shake his paw. Did you say paw or claw?
Clawed paw, but yeah. The toe beans.
Yeah.
Toe beans.
As you shake his hand, he shakes back. Yes, we're currently going to be having it that the guards are going to remain inside. We've got a few stationed outside. Your guards are watching the perimeter and otherwise making sure everything is okay. And we're making sure Hurricane is... All of the visits to him are being monitored. Anybody who is to enter is otherwise to enter with at least 3 other guards, along with the other 2 who remain in the room, just in case anything should happen.
I mean, oh wait, I'm not here. Fuck.
You're asleep.
No, not again.
Rook's awake.
The last time you
Poor
started,
Oh, you swapped
a man
rooms.
ended up
Yeah,
dying.
you swapped rooms.
Okay.
Swap rooms. You're like this now.
You swapped rooms. You're fine. Hurricane, on the other hand.
Oh, wait, is this hurricane?
Poor Hurricane.
Oh,
Now,
no.
now it depends. Do you want Hurricane in here, or do you want Regan's body in here? It's up to you.
Dragon's body won't
Third
be
veteran.
What
His
happens?
soul isn't even there.
Sasha snores. She wakes the dead. Oh no.
Oh god.
Well, that goes my last plan for bringing back Regan.
Bring back Regan, and he's just like, all I could hear was a snoring for years.
Yes.
It was so loud.
Oh god.
Oh.
I've considered you're a terrible person, Harlan.
We'll say for security's sake that Hurricane is in this room because it's easier to guard than a single room down the end, which you can't really block
Yeah,
the
that's
hallway
fine.
so easily.
Hmm.
Or you can block the hallway, you just can't get past as easily if there's a panic.
That's fine, yeah.
So
Oh, Rook's close to the smell of bacon.
Yep.
He does like a bacon sandwich.
So I'd say Elsyan at this point you've heard Bern,
Yes.
he's headed downstairs, you know there's guards waiting
Have
outside.
have I heard Sasha snoring? I mean, yes, is the answer, obviously.
With your high perception, you can just about hear it off in the distance, but it is muffled by several layers of wall and other movement
I mean,
outside.
I mean,
around
more
it.
as I
It's
step
far
out.
away. It's sort of more ASMR than anything else.
I more mean as I step out of my room.
As you step out of your room, it's faint, but it's there.
What
Temptation.
no one realizes
Slap Sasha.
the reason it's always so loud is because I sleep in the helmet.
It reverbs.
You've got an amplifier in the form of your helmet, don't you?
Yeah.
Sasha, master of acoustics.
Oh god.
Move over, whatever the half orc guy was called.
Gact.
Gact, move over, Gact. Audio master, Sasha, coming in.
Oh man.
Time to
That-
clang my shield again.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Can I just sneak into Sasha's room and just play the spoopy flute while she
Hey.
to give her a nightmare?
Okay.
Which may
Okay.
or may very well be just Elsyan walks into your room and starts playing the spoopy flute.
I
care
do not have
what
a
that is.
low passive perception. Just saying, Chris.
I know you don't have a low passive perception, so that's why I'm going to ask
I am
Elsyan.
happy to roll stealth for this.
Make
if-
You are
Yes.
also muffling your own ears while snoring that loud.
Yeah.
And in your
I'm
helmet.
used to it.
I will
if something
say
changes,
It
I
does.
know.
It doesn't matter. So make Make a stealth check, because Sasha, you still take a -5 to your passive perception while asleep. So your passive perception is at the moment 10? Okay, so 10. Alright,
Okay,
Elsyan.
I need you to actually
Roll.
roll for me because tabletop's being a little bit shit.
Is your stealth score positive?
Yes.
Okay, you're fine. That's a natural 11 plus whatever. As you
I hope Hurricane can't hear it.
as you slowly sneak into the room,
I shut the door behind me as not
the guards look at you with a moment of quizzical nature as you open the door and the snoring gets immensely louder as you then sneak in and close the door behind. Wander over, you prepare the Snoopy flute in position, and you begin to play it. Sasha
Yes, he plays with his long flute.
Sasha makes a wisdom saving throw.
over Sasha as she sleeps. Do you want to continue that, Harlan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Sasha, that is a natural 18. With your wisdom save, I imagine that you're fine from the fear. The fear
Yeah.
isn't what gets you. The surprise of suddenly being awoken to find an elf playing a flute right next to your bedside.
Not just a flute, it's a pan flute as well, I do
Pan
believe.
flute. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Being
And just hit. I wake up and instantly punch him.
Nice.
Oh, what a bitch.
you are you doing this while lying down?
It's going to be one of those. Wow, what the fuck, punch!
Oh, you are
Like,
awake.
leap
Okay.
up.
Okay, sorry, I rolled for you because I thought you weren't here. Right. My bad. Okay, go ahead. Natural 20.
Oh, God.
You wake, and in that immediate moment, your hand reaches to punch. Without lying up, the angle and the height is very limited. As Elsyan, you get a very solid clock in the nuts by a very suddenly awoken dwarf.
Such a
What the fuck?
Now,
Who are you? What? Oh.
The
I
roll
lean forwards and I just lean forwards of where I am.
Now, that is 5 damage regardless of the critical, because you don't double any of the stuff. But the critical hit hurts. The punch gets both nuts.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. Double. Oh.
It was just a prank, bro. Oh, no, it's far too late for that reference. It's far too... The time has gone.
Far too
I'm
late.
sorry, Elsyan. You shouldn't startle me like that. I can be violent. I'm very sorry. Oh, yeah.
I noticed.
Oh,
I
yeah.
noticed.
Oh, come on. Let's get you some ice for that.
No, it's fine. I can deal with it.
Elsyan, while prone, crawls out of the room.
I'll see you downstairs for breakfast.
That's fine. I just wanted to try a thing and it didn't work.
I can
That's
just
my
imagine
turn.
what the guards are thinking right now. Yeah.
That's Elsyan's prank career done. He tried it once, didn't work. He's gonna just go back to insulting.
Okay.
As we all know,
I'm gonna put on my armor.
So, what was that, Simon?
As we all know, Elsyan has a reputation for learning from his mistakes.
I've never learned from a mistake in my life.
So, as Elsyan crawls out of the room as best he can, making his way
Oh, no,
towards the bacon butties on the upstairs table.
I just sort of look at the guards of the party and thought, yeah, you're right. Oh, no.
The guards just look over and see the shenanigans which is going on. The clanking of Sasha as she puts on her armor over the next half an hour or so. Queglod, you eventually leave your room to the groaning of Elsyan in the hallway. As he's currently lying down on the couch with a bacon butty in hand, just one hand holding the bacon butty to his mouth, the other one placed just over his groin with tears running down his eyes.
Okay, can I cast... Okay, question. Can I cast Delusion on myself?
Yes, you can. You
I
have
would
to
like to put a delusion on myself that my testicles don't hurt right now.
make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I know full well that this is actually a terrible idea, but
Succeed.
with Yeah. Oh,
You cannot have a delusion in place, as you know it isn't real. It soothes the pain a bit, but it's not enough.
you're kidding me. I passed my own
Your own
delusion
DC.
check. What with my intelligence? I only have a +1 to my intelligence saving throw. Apparently.
You don't have
Oh,
proficiency.
no,
That
wrong shake.
Oh.
That was customer.
Yeah, I was like, huh?
I mean, I might not be. Oh no. I have a Chris.
Yeah, plus 10.
I have a +12.
Bloody hell.
And your DC is what, 18?
Let me just check. Yeah, 18.
So you'd need a 5 or lower.
Why does it hurt?
Oh.
Okay, now next use of a talent, I would like to try and cast Energy Beam without damaging myself. To use cold damage. Oh my god!
Go ahead and roll an attack roll.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll say with advantage because you're opting not to dodge. Okay. Yeah. You beat,
Okay,
you beat
that's
your
a
AC.
+10.
You,
Yes, I beat my own AC, Chris.
Queglod, you watch as you see Elsyan there. He hasn't noticed you as he's focused on other matters. Frankly, his passive perception is probably 0 at the moment. As
It is. Elsyan doesn't care. Elsyan's spatial awareness has disappeared.
as he sat there,
Narrowed to 2 very spherical objects.
you
Two
watch
very specific
as
points of space.
as he has his hand cupped. You watch as this slight glow of energy begins to appear in his hand, and you watch as a little bit of mist begins to roll off of his hand, and you hear a "oh" sound come from Elsyan as you watch as he takes another bite out of the bacon butty.
Hey, where is this happening?
This is
the room
upstairs.
right outside my door.
This is right outside your door.
I thought I managed to crawl over to the side. You know what? This is even better.
Oh, you are at the sofa, but this is but I believe the sofa's just outside his door. This is on the upper floor, so you would be
Oh, jet wrong sofa.
yeah, you'd be there.
Nice.
I'll just put that there. So yeah, and you're on that. You're on that.
Elsyan would take the longer one because he's still arrogant about it.
He's also lying down, and you're an elf, so it's probably easier to lie on that anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so you hear this. At which point, Queglod, you've left your room. You just look over at what's going on. You react in any way?
Something venereal, or did you just piss someone off?
It's Sasha.
It doesn't answer.
That'll do it.
Sasha. Boopy flute. Punch. Is that all you needed?
Sasha, at
Yeah, I
this point,
think I get the picture.
clink clanks out of her room. Rook, you are woken up by the clink clanking, but the fact that you weren't hearing the snoring through the night means that you have slept like a baby.
Oh, it's heavenly. It's heavenly. I can smell the bacon.
Right,
I'm
uh,
100% going for bacon.
sorry about that, Elsyan.
Honestly,
some
for
eggs?
once I'll admit fault. This has clearly been
Now-
a mistake, and I can't blame anyone else.
I know. I like saying that we don't go back on things, but it's occurred to me that her gauntlets are attunement, so she has to be wearing them during the night. So it wasn't a soft fist; it was the gauntlets of ogre strength.
Excuse
Come
me,
on,
there's
come on.
a GIF I need to go find.
Do you want me to see the
carry
picture
on.
wounds on those?
I have another one as well, one that I've used in a previous campaign. I think it's very fitting here for this.
Oh god.
Anyway,
What is this from?
I have no idea. It's just one of the
Harlan, one word. Anime.
anime. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
that's fair. I'll be honest. I'm just impressed by the amount of effort that's gone into like the animation of that foot going upwards.
So it's obviously someone's kink.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Rook, you emerge from your room. You see Sasha apologizing to. I assume you're not wearing your armor at the moment, just because you're
No,
what's
no.
going outside. You see Sasha apologizing to Elsyan. Elsyan with a frosty hand, cupping his groin, and you see Queglod just sighs and wanders off downstairs.
Huh.
Oh, Elsyan, I can see if Angus has any ice cream.
No, it's just.
Are you sure we can put toppings on it?
Look,
Maybe some crushed nuts. Oh, wait, no.
Sasha, I can kill you one day. I want you to know I will keep you alive so I can be the one to end you. This is a promise I'll make to you.
All right, come over here.
No, I like lying here. I've got bacon.
No,
and
come
cold
on.
hand.
I use
Don't make
cure
me
wounds
blast you.
on the testicles.
Okay.
Oh God!
Ah!
Okay.
In here.
You okay?
You're
Rook,
watching
you
D&D
move out to
season
this,
2.
Rook, and you're just like your face goes from like a passive like, oh, I smell bacon to oh, in a moment of disgust.
That's 9 points of healing on the testicles.
I can feel things shifting.
There's sort of an unpleasant.
Oh,
There we go. All better.
I think this is the one. Yep, here it is. This is Rook's Senate.
Yeah, he
Rook
looks
has
exactly
Rook
that
has
calm.
kept that perfectly placid, that perfectly just
Poker
straight
faced.
face.
Yeah.
Placid works as well, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I
Oh my
yeah.
word. Okay.
Okay. Hello, you two love birds. Are they sandwiches
Shut
downstairs?
up! I tried to pull a prank. It didn't. You should actually just come into Sasha, just stroking my groin. I realised.
Yeah, I've literally just come out to first witnessing you doing something to it, and then Sasha goes over and grasps it. I'm like, I might go and eat downstairs.
Oh, Rook, come over here.
I
worry,
don't think I
I'm
do.
done healing up Elsyan, and then I'm dragging you
Wait,
downstairs.
wait, it's not what you. Fuck it. Get off
It-
me, you dwarf.
It raises so many questions. Healing Elsyan? What?
That's a good point. That's the weirdest thing of the lot.
It's just,
Ah,
hey, what? Look,
So I
God.
can heal myself. Why didn't I
Why
think of
not?
that?
Just-
So as I could heal myself, and you know what? I wasn't thinking too straight. I had my testicles crushed.
They were
G-
casualties of war.
They popped like grapes.
Well, don't worry, they're unpopped now. Anyhow, Rook, get down here. There's bacon.
There is Baker. I need to talk to someone. I need help. I've experienced a traumatic morning.
Come
As a
on.
mystic, I can do psychiatry.
I don't
Come on.
trust you in my head. I know you.
You just say,
Okay,
Yeah,
but
fair
suffice
point.
to say, I'm waiting for Rook to come downstairs.
I'm gonna grab 2 of the sandwiches off the table. Because are they on the table? Did you say they were on the
They're
table?
on the upstairs table for the guards.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, wait,
I'm
they're on the
gonna-
upstairs table. Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
they're
those are
upstairs.
the guards ones. I don't want to.
No,
Hey.
they're not the guards ones. They're for you as well. The guards ones are
Oh,
the ones
okay.
downstairs. They're just
and besides, I've been up here, lying here, just
eating.
All right. In that case, I'm staying up here. I thought they were downstairs, so, but if they're up
Yeah.
here, I'm right.
I'm gonna.
Well, look, Rook. It was a simple matter of Elsyan tried to use his flute to shock me in the morning, and I reacted poorly. And as such, there was injuries.
okay.
Which I have healed up, and everything is fine now.
Okay, please, can I state that when he says flute, he does not mean my penis.
Oh, I'm glad that we've cleared that up because the mental image
Why
that
would
I've
I
just
mean
had.
penis. If I was
Flute
going to
is
say penis, I'd say
euphemism.
penis.
It's a euphemism, Sasha.
A youth for what now?
Yeah, I didn't think you'd get them.
You
Oh,
know, I totally ship you two.
can you not? I don't know why I do these things. I only make mistakes in my life. Apparently, Elsyan has had post-ball crushing clarity.
Just gonna grab a sandwich and contemplate this morning so far.
Okay.
We've established they're healed now. It's just that there's still lingering pain.
Yeah, the pain doesn't go away. That's going to require a long rest.
Time.
At least.
I'm going to find someone to give me less restoration today. But honestly,
They spent.
Sasha will probably be the best because then he doesn't have to explain the situation.
Right. So, Rook, why don't you come and join us? Have a bit of breakfast, and we can, I don't know, just have a little chat. It's been a while.
Is anyone else up? Where's Queglod and Bern?
Queglod went downstairs. Have I mentioned how much pain I'm in?
No, you haven't. I'm glad you
I'm in a lot
told
of
me.
pain.
Okay.
Oh, shut up, you big baby.
You punched me with ogre strength gauntlets.
And I punch a lot of things with ogre strength gauntlets.
No,
None of them have been whining like you are.
And you've said before, I am a frail elf.
All right.
My
let's see.
delicates are delicate.
Right. Okay.
You're
okay.
a tank. You're
Would
fine.
you like some honey?
I did not have my reaction up properly. I could not activate my tankiness. It was also a natural 20, whatever that actually means.
Well, I know something.
It was a perfect punch. All right. Elsyan, would you like some honey?
And on that note, I'm going to take my sandwich down and look for Queglod.
I think I'm going to bed, and no one is to come into that room. I need to do some inspection.
All right.
Okay.
The honey is a natural antibiotic, which I know because I do medicine. So it could be
This
very
is
useful.
the third time this has come up in a D&D session. Sorry.
Yes. Very soothing on the crushed bollocks.
See? I told you. Anyway, as you, so Elsyan, as you kind of get up, you crawl off of the end of the sofa, you stand as best you can, there's a moment of...
I'm just about managing to stand.
You're
Barely.
like, legs out wide, kind of crab walking down the corridor, sliding not to put too much pressure as you make it your way back to your room, as you are now in there, taking care of other matters. Rook, as you head downstairs, you see Queglod has... Queglod, what are you doing at this moment? in the morning?
I suppose I'd be having breakfast as well.
Oh wait, is that where that stairs leads? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was that one. I'm confused. I got confused.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
I'm going to sit with Queglod.
Yeah, Queglod doesn't do a whole lot in the mornings on account of being dead. I tend to take things slow.
I thought that'd just be a holdover from you being old.
Chris, I found out
Fair.
about the gauntlets.
Why do you think old people do it?
You find
That-
out
that
tomorrow.
wasn't- Alright, okay, that wasn't a dream. Right,
That's what you
Cool.
find out tomorrow.
excellent.
Okay.
How are you holding up, Rook?
Oh, jeez. I woke up, I heard screaming, I heard Sasha. I thought, I can smell bacon. Wanted a bacon sandwich. Come out to Elsyan holding his gentleman parts and Sasha holding Elsyan's gentleman parts. And
I
it's
think
like,
the less said about that, the better.
yeah. So I've come down here before Sasha busted out her honey. Honestly, I think them two would make a cute couple.
I resent that.
You can't hear me.
I mean,
No, Sasha
I
comes down the
literally
stairs just
followed
after.
you downstairs.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Oh, well,
Yeah.
there you go.
I don't wish to judge, only been around long enough to remember when they were at each other's necks every...
Yeah, young love.
That was yesterday.
That's every day.
Yesterday we had a bigger issue.
Me. But no, otherwise I'm good. Just actually had a really nice sleep. Wasn't woke up by Sasha snoring.
Good. You seem to be recovering well.
Yes.
Glad to hear.
Perfect. Right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna sit and eat my sandwich and enjoy it.
Okay. As you
Oh, Queggles, Quiggle, Quoggle.
Sasha, the two of you finished?
What? Well, yes. I mean, cure wounds only takes a second.
Right. Very well then.
One of these days, people are going to learn not to wake me up in the mornings. It just doesn't end well for them.
I wasn't expecting CBT.
Shut up! Am I a bad person? Maybe. Do I care? No.
To be quite fair, I tried to use a flute specifically designed to not just scare people, frighten them
Mm-hmm.
to wake you up. Elsyan deserves this. And quite frankly, he probably deserved it since he slapped that child in the first episode.
Yeah.
Fuck. I did not recall that.
We bring it up like every other session now.
yeah.
Yeah. The child slapper.
Oh god. I've lived a
Well,
curse.
I want to go have a talk with Hurricane. See how he's doing. Rook, I'd like to have a chat with you as well because I feel like things have been a bit hectic and I haven't really had a chance to talk to you in a while.
Okay.
Don't worry, there will be no genital grabbing or punching or other unpleasantness.
It's okay, but just so you know, touch mine and I'll knock you through a wall. Honestly, I'm married.
Wait, you're what?
Oh. Yeah. I guess I never
Wait,
told you guys.
Wait, motherfucker, what?
Yeah, just got... Yeah. Just married. Yeah.
All right. First of all, please, a name would be pleasant.
You talk about put me on the spot. Jesus Christ, I haven't got a name for her.
Make one up.
Okay.
Remember, this is canon forever.
Yeah,
This
I know,
this
right?
will only influence your character for the rest of the
Oh.
campaign.
It will,
And also, you
it will
can't
colour
just say Chloe.
To give you a little bit of chance, I am going to quickly check to see if we came up with one previously.
Okay.
Okay, but do be thinking just in case.
Yeah, but do be thinking just in case, because I honestly don't know.
Queglod, get over here. We're drilling him. That's a wife, apparently. What? Well, I mean, actually, I don't know if you said that in person, so maybe it's a husband.
Well, yeah, I've got to keep the options open, I guess.
Nope, we don't have one listed. All right.
Okay. Welcome in.
Kevin.
His name is Dave.
Dave. The builder.
Wait a minute. I remember the last time you named a character Dave, and he ended up becoming an evil god. Don't call him Dave.
Oh wow, I need to hear more
Not
about
just-
that one
not
day.
just an evil god, the evil god that we are semi-facing off against.
Okay, that's only kind of, sort of, because that's like he's like 3 separations of the big bad away from us.
That's a callback to session. That's a callback to the first campaign we ever did.
I know. And it's stuck. Oh god.
Jeez.
Anyhow,
Dave.
so the name
It's Talia.
Talia.
Yeah, of course. 'Cause now I've got to write this down and try and
A
remember
lovely
it
name.
forever.
Wait. What's your last name again? Isn't it like
Iron Fist.
Talia Iron Fist? Lovely name. Come on, you've got to tell us everything about her. Come on, Queggles, get in on this.
If you don't mind my prying, is she a Minotaur as well, or?
Yes, she's Minotaur. She's from one of the other nomads of the faction. Jesus, I haven't even thought of any of the story for this. Okay, one of the other.
She comes from the merchant nomad family,
There we go. I'm so glad we had this conversation yesterday, Chris.
and I remember it all.
Right. So, come on, tell us about her. Come on, this is the closest thing to gossip I've had in years.
Okay, alright. She is terrifying.
You know, other than that time that we thought Queglod was dating Chronicle.
Oh yeah.
You thought that?
Okay. He appeared out of nowhere, and you seemed all buddy, and you were both kind of old, and you both liked the Raven Queen. I'm just saying, it was sort of like I could believe it. Yeah. Anyhow, terrifying. Good to hear. Always
Yeah.
lovely, that woman.
I know, and the kids. Also terrifying.
You have kids?
Yeah, I have two.
I'm an
Suppose that raises a follow-up question. How old are
I'm an uncle.
23.
Uncle Sasha.
Uncle Sasha. How have you just appointed yourself an uncle?
Well, we're battle brothers, obviously. Or battle siblings, technically. But, you know, you're my battle brother. Therefore, I am their uncle.
That's not how that.
Sure.
As we're
Okay.
burning from upstairs.
Just-
That's not how that works.
Oh, shut up, almond brittle.
Ah. Elsyan
Anyhow,
actually left his door open so he could listen to any
to
conversation.
clarify, this isn't one of those tragic things where they're all dead or something, right? That they're alive and well.
Oh, they are alive and well. And one day, maybe one day, you might meet them. And when that day comes, I might opt to go back to the ravine, to be honest.
Oh, I look forward to it.
Oh.
Oh, we're gonna have so
Okay,
many
vote
stories.
to
we
change
should
all
catch
our
up.
priorities to go meet Rook's family.
No,
Absolutely.
no. Oh God,
Okay,
no!
either your family, mine, or Queglod's. And quite frankly, I know which one I'd prefer. One of them doesn't mean a mortal fight to the death. Probably.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I can't say I left on a good note. So, yeah.
Okay, let me guess. Was she incredibly pissed that you broke your father's limbs and then just picked up the axe and left?
Well, to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you she was pissed that I broke my father's arms because I kind of got the quest for the axe, left one of my kids, because our kids are kind of like separated, where one travels with her, one travels with me. Then we meet up after a couple of months, you know, because obviously we both travel. So we meet up and then spend
Do you
some time
swap
together.
the kids or?
Yes. So they both have fair time with both parents. We are still together, but just how it goes. But I kind of got the quest for the axe. Might have left one of the kids with their nan and forgot to even mention to my wife that I was going on this quest. So, yeah, I've been in this party
she's going
2
to
months.
kill you.
100%, and she probably will kill me.
Right.
Well,
I'll bring you back if she actually manages it, but you're on your own in getting beat up because that's your wife, man.
Yeah.
She manages
Anyhow,
it.
look, I don't know how scary she is. And also, I don't know how merciful she will feel. Or maybe she wants to keep him alive and drag it out.
You'll find out when you meet her eventually. I'm sure we're going to have to go back to the Barrenlands at some point.
I'm sure we will eventually.
Okay. Important question. By this point, have my testicles recovered enough for me to go downstairs?
With extensive applications of energy beam,
Current
plus
energy
plus a little bit of re-maneuvering down there to make it a little bit more comfortable. You managed
Some very wide-stanced walking.
So very wide-stanced walking, preventing any clanging. You wander downstairs.
Well, why'd you say clanging?
and otherwise keep yourself okay. As you crab walk down the stairs, you make it down to the rest of the party who are currently talking. You see Rook is currently being roasted by the rest of the party, with the exception of Bern, currently out in the main foyer.
Oh god. Oh yeah, that's happening. How is everyone? trying his best to pretend what's happening in his trousers isn't.
Well, I'm good. I mean, I just ended the line of that bitch, your mother.
You just ended the Allure line. I don't think so. I think I can recover from this.
All right.
Potentially. I may
Doesn't
have
sound
to
too
get
sure.
that checked out. Is there a doctor in town?
Sasha,
I mean,
Sasha
I
refuses
don't
to
need
cast
cure
Regenerate on
wounds.
Elsyan.
I just need someone to tell me if I can ever have children.
Okay, I do not
What was
refuse to
important?
cast it. I'm just not going to cast it until it becomes an issue.
Might becomes an issue. I can't close my legs.
Oh, hush now, Elsyan. I've got more important things to do.
If I
Like, I
didn't
don't
know
know.
better, I would get someone to do chill touch on my groin. But I know better than that.
Oh, okay, look.
Maybe
look.
that's what it was for.
We have a cold room, don't we? Just go stick your nuts in the cold room, all right?
No, my nuts are staying padded and protected.
Protected.
No, but we do literally have a freezer room, right? It's the storage room. We've got
You
a
do,
freezer in
yeah.
there.
Well, it's not
I
freezer,
just-
it's just very cool.
We've got a very cold bit. Just I don't know, air it out a little.
Yeah, I would. Oh, this has been a bad day. You know, it can't get much worse. You know what? This day has a worse conclusion than yesterday. There, I said it.
Well, I suppose you're right, because we kind of prevented most of the bad shit. I mean, even Regan dying isn't that bad, considering they already had his soul.
Do you listen to
Careful
some of the
who hears you saying that.
Well, I'm just saying, from a
That-
purely practical perspective, all that's really changed is we can use Speak with Dead on him now.
You're not
He's still-
wrong, but all the
He's
same.
still immobile in a thing. He's still, he's still basically useless. They still got his soul, and now they just have an extra bit of biological matter. So I mean,
Do the gods actually know this is a thing?
The guards
Like-
that are here are the ones who are in charge of Hurricane. They'd either know this information, and if they don't, they're not going to mention it. They're disciplined enough to not say anything. They're not the guards that were called in from the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
and were then
That-
subsequently murdered.
One of them was.
I think you'll find subsequently silenced. It needs to be kept
With
vague
murder.
enough that there's plausible deniability.
All right.
Elsyan's
Silent.
done this sort of thing before.
Yes, we know with your brothers.
That wasn't a silencing, that was murder.
All
Like
right.
you did to my testicle. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm not over it. It's not very
Right.
much
So,
hurt, you bitch.
Malcolm's still off with his dragon baby. Oh, we've got two parents now. Two parents in the party now.
Parents?
Queglod, I don't suppose you have any secret children?
No, I'm afraid not.
Oh, glad to hear it. But anyway, Elsyan, did you hear? Rook's has kids. We're uncles.
I thought I heard that, but I figured it was pain hallucinations.
Nope, real. What are the kids' names?
Sasha, shut up.
Okay, can I
Rook-
just say,
Rook, check
I'm
Discord. I saved
surprised
you
you
the
didn't,
details.
you didn't instantly, the moment you asked for your wife's name, go, right, I need the kids as well.
Just-
Random fantasy generator, go.
Oh my god. Chris, you're amazing. Right. Daughter is
Chris,
Lucy
did
Iron
you-
Fist. And my son is
Yeah.
Gareth Iron Fist.
Gareth.
There you go. Lucy and Gareth.
Named your child Gareth. Did you want him to be bullied?
Actually, in my clans, Gareth is a noble name. It's a strong name.
Even if he was bullied,
I'm
all he has to
suddenly
do is
much
tell
less
his mum.
interested in meeting your clan.
If Gareth is an exciting what is wrong with your people?
Just-
That's coming from me.
It turns out Rook is the weird one in that lot. There must be a Minotaur named Steve somewhere.
Oh, what? Great Uncle Steve? Yeah, he's amazing.
You're shitting me, right?
You are shitting us, right?
Please tell me you're bullshitting us. I cannot believe this about Minotaurs. I've got my preconceptions that I must maintain.
just for this, yes, we do. We don't know if it's his real name, mind, but
Okay, so it's even worse. He's actually chosen to be called Steve. It's not just a mistake his parents made.
Okay. Maybe it's just a really, really bit of absurdist humor.
You know, I could see that, although my preconceptions of Minotaurs says they're not smart enough for that. But I know that's not true because I've met Rook and he is intelligent enough.
To function.
Exactly.
Also, I
Exactly.
guarantee you his
Felt it
wife
by
is like
default.
5 times smarter than him and can beat his ass up, and I love it.
oh, 100%. That is definitely how it is.
Anyhow, you're a dad! You got kids and a wife! Oh my god. I'm really glad I brought you back to life now, because, well, technically Elsyan brought you back to life, but I'm the reason Elsyan
Thank
brought you
you.
back to life, was alive to bring you back to life. So really, I brought you back to life.
You could have just kept him alive.
And then you would have died, and then I couldn't have revived
And
you,
I
and
would
you would
be
have
at
died.
peace. Sorry, I'm really dark
Yeah,
place right
you
now.
wouldn't have had the old nutcracker happen.
Energy.
I feel with this picture Chris has just sent me, I feel like I'm going over my family tree here.
That's why I
My
sent it
days,
to you,
Chris.
just in case they ask.
Oh,
So, what is your third cousin twice removed?
It's not that detailed.
no.
Oh, actually, no, I do know that one. It's that's Angora Iron Hammer, isn't it?
Oh my god, I forgot I had a bison called Gertrude.
You have a what, sorry?
I have a bison called Gertrude.
Why has this not been news from the very start?
Oh wow.
Wait.
Yeah, she was part of your initial character creation. She's
Is
the,
that not a bit odd?
why?
What? Why?
Well, a bison is a type of bovine, and Minotaurs, rather famously, are believed to be half bovine.
I'm not seeing what you're getting at.
Alright, imagine how
Sasha.
odd it would be for a dwarf to ride a 4-legged dwarf.
Why would you ride a four-legged dwarf?
That
You
sounds
see
terrible.
my point then?
Oh, I don't see your point. A bison's a bison, and I'm a minotaur.
Elsyan, you feel a cool breeze as Farnsworth applies an ice pack.
At this point, I effectively put my legs up on the table and just have my legs akimbo. As me fans cooling my groin.
Oh, I
Um,
can't
no,
get
I
away
don't
from
know.
this.
I am so sorry, Rook and Queglod.
Okay. Whilst you tell me literally everything about your wife and children, shall we go and find Bern and have a group powwow?
Sure. Let's. I don't know. Where would Bern be? I guess we could go
How
to the
did
bar
you
and
meet
ask.
Talia?
Oh my god.
You
Sorry,
you
You're
opened
actively roasting me now, aren't you?
this... Yeah.
We want the deep.
We are old friends. You know, both our families. My family creates stuff, her family sells stuff, so you tend to find that
Business
our families-
partners, and then over time things blossomed.
Business partners.
young love. It was young love. While our parents did business, we used to go play
I
in
do business, sorry, I'm gonna stop.
the plains. Do business, yeah. Jeez. So, nope. We met just
Mm.
through family. There you go.
Well, that's sweet. Childhood sweetheart type thing.
Frantically writing all of this down for future reference.
Now, what was the wedding like?
Loud,
Oh,
messy,
just
and lots
tell
of
me
screaming.
more. I
Oh.
want details.
We're
Yeah.
minus.
You
We're
can't just tell them
minotaurs.
no.
Imagine, the chaos that we get up to.
Mm.
Yes. So, anyway, let's go look for Bern, shall we?
Literally,
Oh,
upon
yes.
the time.
You can tell me about your kids on the way. So, Gareth and Lucy, those family names?
No,
As
they were just
you
names we chose.
as you look for Bern, you make your way. Just go into the next place that you'd think he'd be. You head into the tavern. Bern, you watch as the rest of your party emerges. Elsyan, are you going with, or are you staying here while the ice pack is applied?
Elsyan is somehow magically assuming the ice pack is staying applied even when he's walking.
Okay. So you
In his head, Farnsworth follows behind him perfectly with ice pack placed.
exactly. As you watch as your party emerges, you see Sasha currently talking to Rook about something. Rook rather embarrassedly speaking back about whatever this is. You see Queglod kind of almost a begrudging teenager being pulled into a day for the family to meet and talk. Queglod's otherwise a little bit fed up with this, and Elsyan is otherwise walking, like one of his eyes like flicking, kind of quivering open and closed, as he walks in a rather strange, crabbish way.
Oh. The swelling must go down.
Someday.
Now, may I remind you, 5 hit points would usually kill the commoner. So
I am aware. Why do you think I'm playing this? I'm just so bad.
oh man.
Seems you guys have had an interesting conversation.
Sasha punched me in the groin.
It's been an intense morning. I only wanted bacon butty. Look what's this.
Okay.
Rook has a family! He's got a wife and kids!
Good for him. This here is the leader of the guards.
He looks over your ragtag group. Hi.
Oh, hello there.
Elsyan
Are you
is now
Hurricane's personal guards, or is the? Or is
I'm
it
his
like a
personal guard and
governmental
friend,
thing?
yes.
Right. I'm very sorry about the guards in the Adventurers Guild who unfortunately passed. I was rather in a rush, and there was what do you call it? An undead construct that was trying to murder me at the time.
It's
So I
fine.
kind of-
We understand various things happened that day, and frankly, with the number of deaths, I hesitate to call it acceptable, but it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, Hurricane could be dead. I could be dead. Yeah,
Yes, and
On
yes.
the subject, though, the 2 assailants teleported out. I assume they're gone without a trace, but did you have any luck finding the Geist?
No. Wherever it went, it must have fled the city.
Hmm.
From what I have been told, however, some of the guards that were keeping lockdown and wandering around the city, making sure nothing suspicious was happening, there were strange things. Some of the guards went missing, and some civilians also did as well. I'm not sure why, but we suspect that potentially if there is the Geist that you speak of, that it might still be doing work in the city. Following
that
it,
fucking
it's really
sucks.
going to be possible, but we're doing our best to keep ourselves covered from this.
Any connections in the disappearances?
They seem random. Most of them are all linked around alleyways, seemingly using the cover of darkness to strike at the individuals. We've only found one body so far, but the individual who was dead had their seemingly had their throat slit, which is as good as that one is as a body. We don't have any others, and the others are just disappearances. They could be assailants working with them. They could just be assassination targets. We honestly don't know. At this point, there's not enough info.
Is this the
Wait
guy
a
that got
minute.
his...
Is this the guy that I ended up doing a whole lot of messing up with just to make it look like a terrible, peculiar...
Alright, yeah.
Potentially.
Elsyan is doing his best not to look suspicious.
Luckily,
He
he's
has
got
no reason to
the-
suspect you, so I'm not going to ask you to make a deception check.
Yeah, I'm not going to be for once anyway, but yeah.
In my experience, geists don't tend to go for the neck.
That is most peculiar.
Actually, no. The one that I saw in, when it appeared, I turned around and it just slit the throat of that of the guard who was there. Yeah,
So
and then
maybe
it tried to fucking kill me.
Yeah, that's
Fair
not
enough,
that's not an issue.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want another nutbuster?
Not here. Guys,
I would not.
Right now, we're just keeping guard here. What's important is that the hurricane is kept safe.
Well, all right then.
True.
We'll ask you just to go about your daily business.
Oh well,
He
all right.
kind of
do you
strokes
mind
his
if we-
forehead as if he's been up all night.
Do you... Okay, is there anything I can do to help you out? Because you're looking a bit tired there.
I just need some rest. Everything that's gone on, I stayed up all night to make sure everything was sorted.
Right. Do you want to take my room? It's next to Hurricane's.
I'll be fine. If I crash anywhere, it'll be on one of the sofas.
All right. Do you mind if we stop in and have a word with Hurricane just to see how he's doing, or?
If he's strong enough, you're welcome to, but if he's not, then please try not to bother him.
No, of course. Shall we?
Probably a good idea, yes.
Bern! Join
Yes.
the party!
What do you mean?
You're still at the bar!
You're literally talking to the guy next to me. You baboon!
You only just moved!
That's because
Anyway,
I moved
off
him.
we go. Ah, you moved. Right, let's go.
So, are you all going for this, or are some of you doing something else?
Elsyan has nothing better to do today other than to find someone to tell him that he's still fertile.
Well, unfortunately, all
The
of
town's in lockdown.
practices
I'm aware.
are locked down.
I don't think Hurricane's going to give you that answer.
So what you're saying is the only medical practitioner available is more Sasha.
Oh no.
I have seen apocalypse movies. This is by far the most terrifying. Doctor Nutbuster.
There you go, Sam, a character for your campaign.
I am taking that. Oh,
So,
an insane
you make
dwarf.
your way upstairs, plodding along the planks as best you can. Elsyan, you do your best to keep up. As you
Ow,
make
ow.
it to the door, the
Sneaky
two
stuff.
guards look at you, and immediately some more kind of join in as they move over to meet up with you, and otherwise kind of go into the room with you all. Heading in, it's fairly jam-packed. With your entire party plus the 4 guards that are in this room, you're fairly squeezed together. But you are currently in the room. You see Hurricane is currently sat upright, doing his best to drink or take sips of soup. You can see that out of the individuals who's there, you can see Sheba is currently busy, kind of slowly feeding him the bits of soup. Are you here to talk to Hurricane?
If he's well enough.
He's got some strength back to him, but he's otherwise still injured. Take it slow, give him time, let him finish his soup.
That's fine. We won't overwhelm him. We just want to come and see how he's doing.
She continues feeding him soup.
Have we got any more of those beads of nourishment lying around?
Malcolm's got them with him.
Fucking Malcolm.
A bead of nourishment better than regular food?
Not necessarily. They just give you a day's worth of sustenance.
They're just a lot easy. They're a lot quicker and easier to eat than most things.
Yeah.
It's true. Though I feel like he's had a lot of magical healing already.
Everybody knows chicken noodle
Better
soup
so.
will cure anything. So
Oh,
That's
chicken
true.
noodle
That is
soup is
true.
amazing.
Do chickens actually exist in this world, Chris?
Yes.
yes,
Excellent.
Granted, some of them are kenku, but that's fine. Still lay eggs.
They're not even people anyway. Elsyan has eaten kenku before.
What if Feng just lays an egg?
Oh fuck! I forgot Feng's a kenku.
Oh no.
Oh man. Anyway, so you're currently in the room. Hurricane is lying there. Kind of looks at you, but he otherwise doesn't say anything. He opens his mouth as best he can as the kind of the contents of the spoon is tipped in. You wish to say?
I think we're all just gonna sit here and stare at him.
Okay.
Right. You keep
The
eating
next
your
3
soup.
days.
If I remember correctly, exhaustion doesn't stop you from talking.
No, but he's been through
Let's
a
face it,
lot.
He's
He's
not
got 2
likely to
hit
be
points.
coherent.
Yeah,
He's
sure.
gonna be as coherent as Elsyan's gonna be.
Just go in there and T-pose. Sure.
I think I just like to let him know what's going on with the city, just keep him up to date with things, because I feel like a man of like Hurricane who has spent a good proportion of the last few months looking after this city and generally doesn't have much of a life outside of his paperwork. Probably it would be helpful and almost calming to him to hear just the sort of day-to-day issues of the city, not in expecting him to solve them, just letting him know what's going on.
Okay, so you just want to fill him in.
Yeah, just sort of, and whilst he's eating, so he doesn't have to talk or say anything back. Just fill him in on what's going on and what we've heard, and all of that stuff.
And make sure to start it off with, today I woke up and I punched Elsyan in the ball.
Oh, I am absolutely starting off with that. Do not worry.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
He laughs,
Well-
cracks a ribbon.
Oh god.
Oh,
One day Elsyan is going to just mind melt your entire body. He will learn to do it just to spite you.
you know the real way to spite me? Live with
Fuck
me
you.
forever in holy matrimony.
I knew it.
Sasha, are you proposing?
Only if you are, you bastard.
Why would I be the one proposing? I'm so much better than you.
Okay. Fuck you. Your mother's a royal bitch. Literally a royal bitch.
Actually, I don't think she's royal. She was once a god, though, towards related to
She
a
might as
weird
well be.
situation. Okay, fine.
She's just a
Fine.
I
bitch
didn't
then.
say she was basically in charge of the Elven land. Anyway, that's enough of that. So, Hurricane. This morning, I brutally punched Elsyan in the balls, and it was very amusing. And then I fill him in on the rest of the stuff after that point has been made.
Okay. You smile and otherwise tell him about the things that are going on around the city, how everything's been taken care of, how you've stepped in to kind of pull weight and make sure that everything's okay. You go through your workload and you kind of let him know exactly what's going on. As he's there, you fill him in. Do any of the rest of you want to ask any other questions? Or say anything?
No. Just get well, and I'm gonna go out and get another bacon sandwich.
But I'm gonna pass him
Everyone else.
my condolences, and I do hope you get well soon. Is there anything I can do for him? Elsyan's the sort of person that's racist without realizing it, so he's gonna ask, do you need me to walk your big cats? Because I assume every tabaxi has pet big cats. It's
You
just
see a look of bewilderment before he kind of realizes that you're just being
A
Elsyan.
dick.
a dick, yeah, and just leaves it and just ignores you.
I am. What did I say? What? Oh,
There.
You don't
It's
need
all
to
right,
walk
Elsyan.
cats.
You'll learn one day.
why does no one love me, Sasha? Again,
Mostly your personality.
words hurt, Sasha. What's that?
Oh, don't. Come on, you know I love you. Sort of.
Fist.
Sometimes.
He
That's the
finishes
nicest
his. My turn.
Yeah.
He finishes his soup. Sheba takes the bowl and spoon. Hey, I'll leave you to it. And rushes out of the room, past all of you, out the door, and takes the stuff downstairs. You hear as she picks up the tray of bacon butties, which is now mostly empty, and takes it downstairs also.
What? Wait, what? Hey, I'm out there, aren't I, at the moment?
Yeah, you pick up one of
Whatever
the
bacon
bacon
butties
butties,
left, I'm taking.
and you watch as this bright white snow scale kobold just rushes through and goes, "Thank you!" and just grabs it and rushes downstairs.
God.
Huh.
Okay, I'm gonna savor this one.
As you finish speaking to Hurricane over that period of time, as you are all in one place, Elsyan,
Yes.
at this moment you feel within your general peripheral and your understanding of psionics, you're standing there, you can feel the power, the light power of the people within the room. You feel a rather oppressive force begin to appear. It's distant, but it's moving towards you, slowly.
Oh,
It's within the city.
no.
Oh, motherfucker.
That's either really good and Aleuir has come back, really bad as Aleuir has come back, or so much worse because my mother's just arrived and I don't think it's that last one, I'll be honest.
Wait, there is a fourth option. It's one of the new governors happens to be an exceedingly powerful psionic.
That is a very good point. And in which case, we'll want to make sure that this new governor sort of doesn't fuck everything up in the city.
Right. Obviously you've got healing to do, Hurricane, and we've all got stuff to be getting on with, but is there anything at all we can do for you?
He just sits there in silence and looks at you and slowly shakes his head
All right.
before he begins to,
We'll be back.
as he tries to reposition himself and slide back down into the bed.
There. All right. Oh, if you need anything at all, literally anything at all, we will get it done. If at any point. So just whatever happens, we are here to help. But I'm glad you're all right.
Feel free to use sending to keep in touch if you need anything, but beyond that, we'll let you rest.
Slowly nods and
Right,
otherwise goes back to resting as best he can.
Could I use Sonic Restoration to try and to exhaustion?
Okay. You use your psionic restoration on him. In that moment, you apply the restoration. It helps as best it can. It gives him enough of a standpoint where he is now no longer suffering. He recovers one of his maximum hit points, and he is relieved of 1 point of exhaustion.
Just relax. Everything will be fine. And Elsyan, of course, leaves the room, not with the others.
Right. Before we completely head out, I just wanted a quick ask of everyone: how much money are you happy for me requisitioning from the tavern fund in order to buy a load of diamonds and diamond dust so that things like this are a lot simpler for us?
How much do you need for Revivify?
Chris, it's like 100, isn't it?
For Revivify or for Great Restoration?
The Great Restoration, it's 100 GP.
It's 100 GP.
Diamond.
For Revivify, it's 300 GP diamond. But it's diamond dust for Great Restoration, whereas diamond is used for Revivify.
I'm pretty sure that it's not 300 for Revivify.
It's 300. It's only half for Elsyan stuff.
Yeah. Which you typically
it's 200 and 100, I think.
Well, What?
I just used. Oh no, it is a 300 GP diamond.
Yes,
Then
you
where-
use 300. I use 150 because it's the stuff.
Yeah, because
Where
you
am
use
I
the
getting
stuff.
200 from?
No idea.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
But the
Maybe.
half from the staff you can only cast Revivify with it once per day. That's the catch for it being half. But it was an early item when the cleric didn't have Revivify, so.
I mean, you still managed to find use.
True.
Yeah.
Even here in the late game.
Yeah, because I mean, we're only literally just now sitting down to decide to stockpile the material components.
Yep.
Speaking of which, how much have we got in the party?
Well, your party fund is currently with Malcom.
That's true.
No, not the
The
party
tavern
fund,
is what
the
I meant,
tavern
yes.
fund.
Oh, you have 6.6. Well, you have 6.2k. Sorry.
So we ran off with money.
Be back.
6.2k, that ain't bad.
Not bad at all. We could start a small empire. Right? We couldn't, but we could.
I mean, how many are we going to need?
Well, I was thinking on the safe side, we go for at least 3 Revivify diamonds, and at least 3 uses of Greater Restoration worth of diamond dust. So all in all, about 1,200, assuming I'm doing all of the work. But if Elsyan is taking it, we could lower it some more. But you know.
It's probably best we don't skimp on.
Yeah, and I mean, worst comes to worst, we can just resell them if we need money. Most places will find use for diamonds.
That is fair. I assume we'll be able to requisition the diamonds from somewhere, the city being unlocked.
Hopefully, my plan was to honestly just see if we couldn't use some of our contacts as a bit of a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? A bribe to get us the good stuff.
Oh dear Lord, Sasha.
Well, I mean, there should at least be enough people who owe us favours to at least serve us.
Failing that, we could always just get it on the way out when we leave. It's only on lockdown for possibly today, or waiting for the new governor.
We might be able to get some from Abbott. Buy them still.
Okay. I have no quarrels with that anyway, if you
By
want to
the
take
way,
that.
did we get to asking Feng about, because he's the only one that has went up the tower or up the tower?
The tower.
Oh yes, you're right.
We were gonna question their staff and stuff, but we didn't do it.
No, that's probably a good job for today, actually.
Well, I don't think I've mentioned this yet. There's
I believe Elsyan did that as part of his time skip. Because you went around and you did a little bit of mental inspection on them using psionics, and then you proceeded to inspect the nobles in the town as your time skip.
Yes, I think.
And I assume we can tell if they're lying?
He has a good hedge on his bets. I'll tell you the result of that when we get there.
Okay.
I also I would like to just say that there's a very strong psionic presence moving its way into town.
It's not necessarily psionic; it's just oppressive.
Thank you, voice. Thank you, Farnsworth.
You're welcome, sir.
Yep.
Your tea is ready.
Excellent.
Too bad Rook can't hear.
Make tea for everyone else. You heard that.
I heard that. I love tea.
Yes.
Bacon sandwiches.
You see Elsyan miming, drinking some tea.
Presents.
Lovely.
Now?
Yes, presents, not necessarily. Sorry, got that wrong. Farnsworth reminded me.
Should we go check that out? I mean,
We probably should, although I'm scared.
The
I'm
last
worried.
time we went to check something out,
Yes, I know.
2 people died. So
Maybe we
let's be
should
careful.
hurry up this time.
Maybe we should go now. Now, let's go now.
Let's go. Yes, that is a good plan.
okay. Right, we're going right now.
After finishing this discussion,
Alright.
the presence has gotten closer. It's been getting closer this entire time.
It's getting closer. I think it is it getting closer as in getting closer to us, or getting
Yes.
closer as in getting. Oh God.
Getting closer to you.
Us
As
specific-
you,
oh.
as you go down the stairs, kind of in a hurried manner, the guards kind of look at you in a motion of like, do we need to go as well? As they kind of prepare and stand their post. You head downstairs. You head into the central tavern, and as you burst through the door, you see the 2 guards at the main entrance kind of open the doors up, and you see the four sources of main power that is otherwise oppressive.
Oh, that's
Looking at
not
the
good.
individuals, you see the following. Out of them, the only one who isn't being oppressive is a well-dressed individual. Human male, kind of a little bit salt and pepper hair, otherwise middle-aged to later age. He wanders in, he has what looks to be some kind of kind of beret hat, kind of pushed back a little bit. The clothes that he wears are fairly long, kind of almost like a trench coat in a way, but otherwise up-suited to have buttons across the center. The coattails from the back kind of stick out in a meshed fashion, met with also very smart trousers and shirt combo, wearing a set of beautiful kind of opal cufflinks as he wanders in. Otherwise clean-shaven, wanders in with 4 other individuals with him. Out of the 4 individuals, you see a gruff-looking dwarf, dark skin, dark hair, slightly dark eyes as well. The hair itself is pushed back into 2 large plaits going down the back of his head, not by far. The dwarven individual has what looks to be a kind of short and otherwise scraggly beard, unkept and not very well looked after. You see that there is quite a lot of damage in places, and you can see across his form he otherwise wears just a regular suit, almost like a businessman also. As he wanders in, you get an immediate sense of quite a relatively oppressive force from him. As he wanders in and takes his first step onto the property, you watch as his shadow shifts, moves, and kind of quivers before setting in motion once again. I will say the people who notice this are Elsyan and Sasha, given your passive perceptions. The rest of you are watching as 3 more individuals come through. There are several things that catch your attention to begin with. One of the first things is that these 3 individuals are barefoot. Otherwise identical except for height, and wear similar to the same clothing. Each of them wears a long mantle robe, almost like a curtain that it goes down from the shoulders. From the neck down is an entire long curtain that covers all of them except for their feet, which are bare. The cloaks of each of them, one wears a kind of a lighter pearly white cloak. The next one in the middle, who otherwise is walking ahead of the other 2, is wearing a grey cloak, and the other one on the right is wearing a midnight black cloak. Each of them wears a complete metal front mask. No eye slits, no mouth slit, no nothing. Completely blank and plain. Surrounding it you see are braces and otherwise bolts and rivets that otherwise look like they go into the skull itself of these individuals. You see that the hair that on the back of their head is short and otherwise spiked. With the 3 varying heights, you guess that the one in the middle with the grey cloak is human, the one who is with the white cloak and otherwise taller could be any of the larger races, as he is rather large and bulky, and the shorter one is not too short is not short enough to really be a dwarf or any halfling, potentially just a shorter human or other race. All of them have humanoid features, from what you can tell. No specialities around their feet, as they are pink-skinned humans. Or pale-skinned humans, as they wander in. Also, the dwarf looks over, sees your immediate groups, and kind of looks around the room. The guards in the room immediately stand to attention. Some of them salute. As he wanders in, the head guard turns around and salutes, and or doing a slight bow, the dwarf wanders over to him, completely disregarding your party. You do anything?
Just going to sort of keep an eye on things, because I don't want to get in the middle of get in between these people. They're scary.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to speak to them, but I don't want to interrupt. Okay.
Well, I think we're all smart enough to go. Yeah, we wait until we've been until we're approached.
Speak when spoken to.
Yeah.
You watch as the
It's how Elsyan grew up.
Yeah. You watch as the dwarf walks over to the other one and goes, "So, what's the situation here? You're in charge now." He goes, "Yes, sir. The guards are in motion. Hurricane is currently resting upstairs. He has received breakfast in bed and is otherwise resting. These are the individuals who saved him. Regan's body is also upstairs."
Elsyan gives a light bow when he gestures towards us.
The dwarf looks over and gives a slight nod, and you watch as the other three individuals begin to make their way towards you. As they slowly walk across, their bare feet padding across as they walk towards your group. The one in the grey cloak stops before you. "So you're the ones who have saved Hurricane. Thank you. We'll be taking the city from here. And trust us to everything. Any matters that need to be resolved, we will handle. Any legal matters and refinancing, speak to Harold over there." As they gesture towards the otherwise smart, elder human, as he wanders up.
Okay. Now, the one that just spoke to us, is this the one that I got heebie-jeebies about?
The four people who have a very oppressive power are the three with the masks and the dwarf.
Okay.
Harold, as it seems, is not very powerful.
Yes. Okay, that's good. Oh.
The masked figures move and motion as if they're going to walk past you. Do you intervene at all?
If it looks like they're going to walk past, I have a feeling that we cannot,
Where are they trying to get to?
They're trying to get past you to go to wherever the hurricane is.
Okay.
Step out
Probably
the way.
couldn't stop them if we wanted to. But maybe we could follow them? I don't know. I mean, this is our tavern, so... And we did save it.
It's your call.
I assume that they've
Do
got...
you want to fuck with these guys, Harlan?
I'd like to talk with them. I don't want to fuck with them.
I don't think they're the talking type, especially for our kind of talking.
It's up to you. So, Elsyan, you've motioned that you're going to move out the way. Rook?
Yeah,
I'm gonna move out the way and talk to the older guy.
Okay. Queglod?
I won't get in their way. I'd like to keep talking to the dwarf.
Okay.
Sasha?
Sasha?
If he's not moving.
I would like to talk to Harold, but
I
other
think
than
Harold.
that, I'm staying out of the way of
Okay.
this.
And Bern?
I'll get out of the way.
As you all move out of the way, the three of them move past. As they walk past, Harold kind of stops, looks at. As you go to stop him, he goes, "How can I help? You're wanting to speak now about compensation?"
No.
Not precisely. After you, Rook.
I just wanted to find out what it was your purpose here. I assume that you've all come from
I am the High Minister Harold Dwarf. I've been myself, along with the High Templar Dimius, and our 3 High Marshals, Uzo, Gentrick, and Marlow. We're all here to run the city, as it were.
Ah, right. The guys from Oregon, I believe.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So now that you're here, I assume that you're planning to unleash the lockdown when you're in post and return things to normal then?
He looks over at Dimius, who wanders over. That's the intention, yes. If we can get the city off lockdown, we can get things back to normal. And I'll set to her having the information spread with the aid of Harold. Who are you all, by the way? You saved Hurricane, thank you for that, but who are you exactly?
Well, we're
the Dawn Seekers.
Are we allowed to say that? Yeah.
Yeah, Dawn Seekers is the name we're known by. That does not mean Dawn Marshals.
Correct.
2 different things, very similarly named on purpose.
An adventuring group. Fair enough.
Right.
For your help. We've done a good service to this city.
We've
Well,
had a
the city has
vested
been good
interest in
to
this
us.
city, yes.
We owe them quite a bit.
Fair
And
enough.
I like to think that we've kept a working relationship. We've been good friends with Hurricane, and before the war got going, we were friends with Aleuir, and obviously haven't seen him since. There are certain things currently going on that I believe you should be made aware of. But I'm not going. I understand you're quite busy, so if there's a time that would be
We aren't
preferable.
busy. By any means, we just got here. We're going to see what condition Hurricane's in. Uzo's going to take him back to Oregon along with Regan. If they're in if Hurricane's in fit condition to be teleported. Otherwise, myself and Harold are going to set up a perimeter and sort out what's going to be occurring in the city.
Okay. Can I make a suggestion? The city, it's one of its main attraction is the arena. A lot of people get entertainment and comfort having, obviously, the festival coming up soon. Maybe as the first act to try and calm the people of the village or the city, maybe have put on a show at the arena?
Harold looks at you. Are you volunteering?
I would happily volunteer. I have joined up at the arena, and I have done my fair amount of bouts there.
I see no reason not to, then.
Okay.
If it's what the people want, then I'm perfectly fine with that, but... Yes, we'll be handling it from here, but thank you for the suggestion.
No worries. Well, I hope you settle in well, and good luck.
What are your names, by the way? Exact names. Full and complete, so I can take note. You watch as he
Sasha Smashfist.
as he pulls a book out and proceeds to write it down. He watches the dwarf looks at you. Ah, Smashfist. True. Shame though about what happened. I've been kept in the
Shame
loop.
is one word for it. Absolute fucking tragedy is another.
To each their own.
Elsyan Aleuir. Pleasure to meet you.
Howard looks up. As in
One
that's
moment.
as in a relation to Miss Allure, current head, one of the countesses in the
Yes. I believe you're speaking about Shariel. Yes, that
Yeah.
that is my mother. I wish I wasn't a relation. I'll keep it at that for now.
Yes, I'll pry you about that in the future. That is a rather interesting matter.
That's going to be a conversation I won't be looking forward to. Dislike talking about my bitch of a mother. So, not polite or professional of me.
He kind of squints at you but doesn't ask any more questions. Next.
Cosmic Rook Iron Fist.
Cosmic.
I know, right? Hey, it's my first character, okay?
No. This is Elsyan just muttering under his breath.
Cosmic?
It's so fucking cool. Because Elsyan is secretly always an edgy 14-year-old boy.
Okay. Okay. Looks next.
Queglod Prill.
Very well. And last but not least,
All back.
thank you. I'll be remembering those. I've set them to memory. I'll speak to all of you at some point in the future, I imagine. If you have any motions of claim, please write a letter and send it to the main central tower. I'll be taking up Hurricane's office there.
Just to keep you informed, as he's not currently here, we do have another member of our party.
Go on.
He's Malcom, and I don't know his last name.
It's on the side.
Baron.
Yeah,
Baron.
no, but he's never actually told Rook,
Oh.
so I have no
I mean,
idea.
You know
He
he's a
has
member
Baron
of the
many
royal
times.
family, so I'd say
Yeah.
make a history check. See if you
Okay,
know
I
what
guess-
the...
I guess coming
royal
from there, I kind of would
families.
know, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you come from the Baronets, but I'll say make a history check to see if you know it, because
I mean, the rest
No,
of us probably
it's the one at the top.
one at the top on the
Seven.
left. Yep, okay, you know it.
Okay,
well.
there'll be... It's Malcolm Barrenteller.
Barrenlor.
Barrenlor?
Yeah,
Alright,
you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I was... Yep.
That's fine. He slowly lifts his head from the book. As in...
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
that's
The prince.
Barrenlor.
You're a very
Yep.
interesting party. I must
Yes,
admit.
we are.
You have a noble
Yeah.
from the Elven Kingdoms, a royal from the Barren Lands, somebody who has lost a family, as from what I'm gathering.
Well,
And
I didn't lose them. They were brutally murdered. by a
Sasha,
giant fire lizard.
Sasha, calm.
Sorry, it's a touchy subject.
interesting. Again, I'll ask you all about this later. If you have anything you wish to accomplish, please do contact me at the tower. Snaps the book shut.
Will do.
Righto.
You
Right.
watch as they walk past you and they go through your main area up to where Hurricane is. Are the rest of you doing anything in particular, or...?
Not really. Now that they're here, kind of everything's out of our control now. I'm gonna go and see if I can hunt down them bacon sandwiches that were taken.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can't go. I'm gonna go head down into the Undercity and see if I can't find any anywhere to grab. I'm gonna grab a 1,500 gold from the tavern fund, and I'm gonna go see if I can't find any diamonds lying to buy.
There is a jeweler's station down there. You are familiar with it. I will say just go ahead and you manage to get, I'll say an assortment of diamonds as you see fit. So a number of 300 ones and a number of 100 GP ones if you want to as well. If you want to crush them, then you can have them crushed.
Okie dokie.
And it was 1,500 from the tavern fund?
1,500, yep.
Okay.
Sorry guys, no one gave me exact figures, so I just went with what I felt was best.
No, that's a fair
No,
number.
no, that's cool.
Alright. So, is there anything else the rest of you would like to do?
The only thing I can think of is I'd quite like to look around the sites where the people disappeared. Obviously, I don't want to be wandering the city alone, given the current situation.
Okay.
So,
Elsyan would be happy to go with you if you'd like.
okay.
I'll
Because
go.
Elsyan-
I've made this to the door. If you want me to go as well, I'm happy to. Just let me see if I can find a sandwich first.
Yes, I think it would just be good to have a once over, get a few more eyes on the situation.
Bern?
I don't have exactly planned anything special, so.
So, over the course of the next couple hours, as Bern, you loiter around the tavern, kind of keeping tabs on these new individuals. You note that they enter in and you hear the sound of magic being cast as Hurricane is teleported away to Oregon. You see the grey cloak and the black cloaked individuals leave the room as they travel back out, they kind of they look in your general direction as they kind of nod and they float and they move past. As you look, you see that the black one is actually floating rather than walking, and is otherwise just drifting across the surface of the wood. Previously masked by the other individual taking steps, this is news to you.
Interesting.
As they travel down the stairs and back out, Dimius kind of meets up and kind of looks over in your direction before kind of just going about what he would say as you kind of stand there and listen in. Right, I've set up a perimeter. Why, my individuals will be keeping an eye on this tavern, making sure everything is okay, and Hurricane would have been targeted, that we have note of it. I've had my other individuals spread throughout the city, and they will continue to keep tabs on it. For now, continue as you were, relieve the lockdown and set the guards into motion to let people back into their daily lives, and let them know what's going on. The city has acquired new individuals in charge after there was an incident at the tower. Hurricane and Reagan have otherwise been called away to Oregon for various duties. He watches Harold is writing all of this down in his ledger that he has with him. And what of particular questions, or if anybody were to ask anything, is there anything we should reply with? Just the standard stuff. Just tell them that Hurricane and just say that Hurricane's been mildly injured. That there was an event, but he is otherwise recovering. That if they want to do anything for him, it is to go back to their lives as normal. And Harold nods in that moment. You hear the grey cloak individual say, "And what of this place?" Kind of looks around. Dimius looks over. What do you mean? Your associates don't like it here. This place is hallowed. As he begins to slowly scan the area around. Harold kind of looks up from his book, looks over to you. Excuse me.
Yes?
This is to Burton, as you're down getting diamonds and the rest of the party's off scouting the city.
Yes.
Is this place hallowed?
Yes, I believe our cleric has hallowed it out.
Do you have religious temple license? This doesn't look like a temple. It's a tavern.
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure about that. I was like this when I joined up.
I'll have to ask them when they come back, but unlicensed use of spells I will waiver in the sense of protecting Hurricane, but I will ask for its immediate removal, unless you and your group are willing to pay the license fee.
How much is it?
7,000 gold.
Sasha!
What?
7,000 gold for a temple license fee. 10,000 to have the building built.
That's it, guys. We're starting a coup. Who's with me?
The fuck?
I see. I'll
Fucking
make sure
capitalists.
ask/inform them when they come back.
Don't worry, I'll do it.
Wait, no. Hurricane definitely did put papers through for us.
He wavered the fact that you'd be allowed to hallow.
Motherfucker.
He said that you'd be able to in exchange for a favour. He never actually got papers for you.
Damn it, we should have let Harlan. Oh, damn it.
No, then we'd still have to deal with this and we wouldn't have anyone to blame it on. Alright, well, I'm currently buying diamonds.
You're currently buying diamonds. Howder's there, and Dimius kind of goes, "Is there anything else we need to take care of then? Any other magical elements that are unforeseen in this place?" You watch as the individual kind of looks around, You haven't got your forbiddance up yet. As he looks around. Nothing that I can tell. But if they attempt anything, I'll know.
Does this is out of character? Does a teleportation circle count?
Yes, it does. But you have a license for that. Because you bought that manually.
Yeah. We do have a teleportation circle, but I believe the license is already done for that.
The grey cloaked individual turns. Mind if I take a look?
Do I know where this said license is?
No, not the license, the teleportation.
Oh, the teleportation circle. It's in the tower, right?
Yes.
Do I know if are they aware of the Phoenix and the stuff, right?
You don't know.
Yeah, we have no idea.
You don't know in this context.
Alright, I guess, yeah.
It's been established that at least 2 of them do know. 1 of them was going to be told, but we don't know if they've been told yet.
We are not the ones to tell them.
We are definitely not the ones to tell them.
Alright, I'll take him to it then.
As you lead them up the tower, you enter into the room where Abod is. Abod is otherwise sat there in his complete form, not in his Yanti blood form, but as he's kind of just sat there on the large beanie baby, otherwise looking at various items and inspecting them. He turns around. Ah, yes. Kind of stops and as the individuals enter.
I do a slight wink without being noticed.
Roll me a stealth roll with advantage as you are currently facing away from them.
Jesus.
I'm scared.
I have 3 luckies.
You have
Why
3
do we
luckies.
why do I suddenly feel like level 1 again?
Because in comparison to these guys, we are.
That's true. We need to. If we all gang up on them, maybe we can kill them.
Have 1 lucky
If we
left.
all get killed, maybe we can wound one of them.
Actually, no. The last time I said that, something very bad almost happened. Ignore me.
Are you going to use your last lucky burn?
Am I? I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's any way I succeed this unless I roll high.
It's up to you.
Because currently it's the 11, right?
Yeah.
That would be it. Is that you said stealth check or?
Stealth check, yeah.
Fuck. Why is it a stealth check?
It's a -1, which is 10, isn't it?
Because you're trying to hide something.
Yes.
Yep. It's not exactly a sleight of hand because you're using your eye, so.
Sleight of face.
If you try to, yeah, no.
Sleight of face still uses dex.
Look.
Do you wish to use your last lucky? Or is that your cooled roll?
I'll use it. Hopefully
ahead.
it's...
Please don't be a 1.
Okay. You wink to him. They don't react in any way as you kind of move into the room.
Motherfuckers.
The Abod kind of looks over. The grey-mantled individual kind of looks around. Several wards are in place. I count at least 6. Various opponents, higher level, skilled.
I assume...
Warding against teleportation and detection. Otherwise, a hidden area away from this. Divination magic is gated in here. And looks down at the teleportation.
I assume that's not illegal.
Dimius looks over. It shouldn't be a problem if it's in a wizard's tower. They're licensed to do with it as they will, but any issues that should arise from that would then carry on down to you. Nothing here breaks the rules as far as I'm concerned.
Still, he's a fucking. I hate this guy. He's a bureaucrat. I don't like him.
Yeah.
My dad.
They're expecting a 2-day siege on the tavern.
Well, Sam, Elsyan
We are,
will
stop,
be
we are
calling
planning on
Sasha
starting a
Daddy
coup,
someday.
Chris. You cannot stop me. If you have to kill Elsyan in the process, so be it.
Apparently, we're going to start an all-out assault.
Well, we'll start off with a protest of all this paperwork, and then we'll just get.
Oh, they're
thoroughly
not going to
through-
ask you to pay for it immediately.
Oh,
They
Still.
need you to buy the
no,
license within 30 days.
Buy what license for what?
No,
The
but I
temple
don't
license
need
for the
a spell
Hallow
license.
spell.
We're going to be talking about this because there are very good reasons why we're doing this, and they're not at all temple related.
Oh, it doesn't matter for
So-
him.
Yeah.
So-
Also, Elsyan has decided he doesn't like this person, even though nothing of
And
what's
who-
happening right this second.
And who is he so that he doesn't have to be...
You'll find out later. Alright, as we carry on.
Don't worry, I've got an argument that isn't completely ridiculous.
So, as you're
I'm
there,
pretty
he
hit on the
says, I see nothing wrong with this. Is there anything else I should know about, Bern?
I don't think you heard me when I said that. But Bern has no idea about the underground growing garden stuff, so no.
Very well. I don't think there'll be anything else that I'll need to look into. Just make sure any other magical wards and spells are confined to the tower. Anything else on the property of the building itself will require further licensing of various types. At which point you hear a thump, and you hear footsteps beginning to walk towards as the white-cloaked individual returns.
Where does he return from?
He
Oh,
returned-
he teleported.
He
Yeah.
teleported. He teleported back in. Well, then, we'll leave you to your business, and we have various things to take care of. For now, we'll leave you to it.
I'm
Harold,
gonna
I'll stay here and wait for whoever turns up next who might know more about the building. I shall do that.
If I may say something, it would be really nice for protection of the city to have something against invisibility set up. I believe that's how most of them got in.
Duly noted. I'll take that into account. I'll see if I can get something set up magically for minor warding purposes. He nods to you and motions for the other two to follow as they make their way down the stairway of the tower. Demetrius gestures for you to go first.
You mean down the tower?
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, sure.
Wanders behind as you travel down. As Harold is going to take up a seating arrangement in the actual tavern itself. So, while the rest of the party is out, Bern, you proceed to relax as best you can, find out the various things, clean out the room Hurricane and Regan were in, with the help of your housekeeper. A short while after, Sasha, you are the first to come back as you wander back in the tavern from the underside. As you climb, as you come back in from your little adventure, you return to the tavern. You see Harold is sat there, currently writing various things on in his book with other bits of paper beside him as he's scratching notes down on the pieces of paper. I'm going to presume that you would fail a stealth check walking in with your armor on.
I'm not even trying to be stealthy, so it's
Yeah.
not even a. But
He looks up. Ah, Sasha, I believe it was. Are you one of the founding members of this place?
yes, one of them. I believe also on the lease is Queglod, Malcom, and I believe that Elsyan does have a stake in it. I can't remember on the exact writing. Oh, there's also a fellow called Gact who I think signed. Oh, yes, Gact signed over his founding sign on the what's the word, on the deed over to Elsyan, I believe.
Very well,
Or
that's
something to
fine.
that effect.
I was wondering if you are aware that this place is under the effect of the Hallow spell.
Well, yes, of course, I am the one that set it.
Is it tied to an object, or is it simply set in place here?
It is set in place over the tavern due to a number of reasons. The largest of which was the large number of attacks that we've experienced involving undead, and you'll be aware of the attack on the city.
I am
Undead
aware.
insurgents.
Do you have a temple license for such a thing?
Well, we're not a temple, and technically this is the residence of a foreign dignitary. So we came to an agreement with Hurricane to waive that until a later date, I believe. But obviously you'd have to talk to Hurricane to get the exact details of the agreement.
I see. I'll get in contact with Hurricane and see what I can pull from that information. Do you know if he keeps any copy of these files in the tower?
I can't say I do. For the most part, we avoided talking about work unless we were being contracted by him or the city.
I understand.
What with being adventurers in the guild and currently the highest ranking ones, generally we try to avoid the business where possible, since we do have a courteous and friendly relationship, so it's nice to be able to relax once in a while.
Very well. I'll look through the papers regarding that then. I have informed your associate Bern that should the claim, licensing, or agreement previously, as you have discussed, be not in place, or Hurricane otherwise denies it, I will require you to pay the temple fee in exchange for having this hallowed. You do not need to directly build a temple in order to have the temple license, but to have a hallowed effect, you will. Any further magical effects are there any further magical effects I should be made aware of?
Well, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was have you or your fellows been informed of the Prince of Blood situation?
We have not, no. Is it a security matter?
It's definitely a security matter of some import. Where to begin? Suffice to say, in our adventuring, we happened to encounter and set in motion the unfortunate events of the release of a particularly unpleasant individual known as the Prince of Blood. It was a situation whereby many dwarves in Crag Anvil had encountered an unpleasant situation. So when we got to the point, it doesn't matter. We can talk about that later. Suffice to say, there is now an archdevil, demon prince. What's the correct term?
Demon prince.
Chris?
Best.
Good question.
Would we know?
There is. I'm going to say.
I'd say you wouldn't know, because I believe I know what he is, but he's not necessarily an arch anything.
Right.
And also it'd be Demon Lord or Archdevil, I believe, in terms of wording, but I don't think he's a lord or an arch. So.
Right. There's a highly powerful fiend who is currently seeking out certain objects around the place. Also, we have a number of items which we don't know how to destroy, and we don't really think should be. If we get a hand on any of the things that he wants, we needed a place that would be safe from fiends and undead and other creatures that would be dangerous or under his influence.
Is this part of your prior agreement?
I don't. We hadn't talked about it yet with Hurricane. We were just coming back from one of our adventures when this attack happened, and as you can
Okay.
imagine, that rather derailed things somewhat.
Keep in mind with such a hallow spell that it doesn't have a full effect on any individual. Whether they be Demon King or Archfey or anything of that similar origin, they can still enter the area.
I know,
Wait,
it is
what?
just simply more difficult and may give us some warning.
Yeah, they just have disadvantage on all ability checks, attack rolls, and saving throws in the area.
Yeah, I'm aware.
No, I was letting Sam know because he went, huh?
Yes. There was also plans in the works to activate a forbiddance ward.
Such a ward is reserved for government buildings only. Due to the sheer size and the disruption it can have on magical auras and enchantments, it is otherwise forbidden unless you have a governmental lease set by either myself, Hurricane, or the Emperor himself.
This is why one of the things we were intending to talk with Hurricane about, again, before the rather unfortunate, murdering of him that we then quickly rectified.
I understand that, but unless this is otherwise a governmental building that has been assigned, I do not have legal requirements, nor does Hurricane, to be able to assign such a governmental building essential until 6 months have passed of my position here. I believe a Rogan Blacktooth would have been able to, as he was a previous high governor here, but since he deceased, or missing, whatever happened with that, followed by Hurricane taking his place and Hurricane being here for no more than 5 months, he would not have had the ability to grant said rights, and nor do I, unless you speak to the Emperor yourself about this matter.
Well, that's unfortunate, considering the potential dangers we may be in. Is there any governmental building that could have a prior listing for such an enchantment that we could instead place the enchantment on to have a safer place to store any items that end up coming out of this adventure that may be sought out after by this fiend?
The only one that I am aware of, this is the one that Dimius informed me of when he entered the place. There is a place known as the Negative Vault within the housing of the High Templar's residence. Central barracks and guardroom there. It is otherwise guarded by a forbidden spell, and only the High Templar has permission and ability to enter said space.
Is it possible to get things placed in there if they are of significant
It is
import?
possible, but unless the High Templar would then wish for you to have control of it, you will not then be able to retrieve it.
Provided it can be assured that these items will be safe and untouchable by means even even more powerful than ourselves, then absolutely, I'm more than happy for it to be things to be kept in there.
Again,
frankly, if I'd known about it beforehand, it'd be wonderful.
That depends. If the item in question that you are trying to put in there would otherwise counteract the forbidden's effect, say anti-magic, then it cannot be protected. On the other hand, if you wish to simply just have it protected from scrying measures, I believe your wizard tower is perfectly equipped to do so. If you're trying to prevent the entry of individuals, then you may try the vault there, but individuals can still attempt to enter it. Their demise will be following, but they can still attempt it.
The scrying is less of an issue. It's more of the, as I'm sure you're aware, even such defenses can be fallible.
Of course.
It's more having a place that, at the very least, would provide a delay, allowing reinforcements to arrive should some theft or retrieval of such items be attempted.
I am not aware of the position itself. I have yet to actually inspect the vault, or even attempt to go near it. But From what the High Templar has said, it exists, and so I will therefore trust in his knowledge of this place.
And to clarify, this is out of character. At least one of the people who has shown up is a High Templar of some description.
Yes, Dimius is the High Templar.
Dimius, right. Well,
And
in
then
that case,
of who you have here, you have the 3 High Marshals, Uzo, Gentrick, and Marlowe. The High Templar Dimius, Dark Tongue, and then the High Minister Harold Bohr.
Right. In that case, I suppose if and when we retrieve such items, we may be having to talk with Dimius about whether their storage there can be organized.
That should be possible, yes.
Wonderful. In the meantime, I don't suppose I could I could have a look at the exact laws, as well. I'll be honest, I'm not the most learned of individuals, but I do want to be aware of what exactly. I'd rather avoid any situations like this one, because I'll be honest, I wasn't after Hurricane said everything was sorted. I just assumed it was all fine and dandy. So yeah.
If you're looking to look into the laws, I can make sure that a copy of the law book is sent over to you. A copy of the law book, provided you return it, will cost you nothing. If you wish to purchase it, it'll cost you 15 gold pieces.
Oh, wonderful! Then that would be very lovely of you. Would you like me to return it to a specific place, or
just to the tower? Alternatively,
right.
There is a library in town. It could be it's possible they
I
have
thought
several
it was still under
copies.
lockdown.
Well, it won't be after tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Right.
Or after today, sorry.
Oh, wonderful then. I'll have a look at it there then. Don't want anyone to go to any trouble. In the meantime, well, thank you for your assistance. Now, obviously, saving Hurricane's life was, well, it was the only thing to do at the time, so I don't expect any reparations for that. But do just, as a personal favor, please make sure that Hurricane is all right. As I said, we are friends, and I worry.
We'll make sure that he's all right. He's currently under the guard of the King's Guard, the Grand Marshal. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Would you care for a drink or a meal, Harold, before you go?
I have several places to inspect. One such place is the Church of Steel before organizing the event for tomorrow. I also have to visit the tower and see if I can find any copies of his bookkeeping. See if I can discover what exactly has been going on in town. There may be more that he knows there regarding the attack or any similar events, and I will need to study up on that. He stands from the chair he's in. I'll leave you to your own devices for now. If you need anything again, just contact me.
Righto. Have a lovely day. Ta-ra.
He nods and leaves you to your own business as he heads out the door. Okay. Are you okay, Sasha? That seemed to be a bit of a... I got to say, there was a bit of an atmosphere. I didn't want to get too close.
Understandable. That was... oof. I kind of feel like I threw Hurricane under the bus a bit, but I didn't lie. He did tell me everything was...
Not lying is a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure Hurricane will have everything handled. I'm sure he had to... Came in here and ranted all the time about how he was falling behind and how he kept catching up with himself, but then more came in. So I'm sure he's fine.
I'm sure. Oh, God, I do not want to take away this hallow. The tongue's enchantment is very useful for everyone being able to talk to each other in here.
Yes, it has been useful. Getting used to learning what the dwarves are saying. Plenty of things they try and hide. But it's
I
useful.
can imagine.
Makes it easier for some of our colleagues to speak as well, as common isn't always their first tongue.
I know it's the law, but personally, I don't agree with people controlling whether you can hallow your own property. I mean,
I think the problem's more of the act that if they left it unbound, who's to say that somebody who has lesser or bad intentions might use it to protect themselves and put others under the bus?
I
Whatever this
suppose.
bus is.
Oh, I think it's one of those large carts that they're using, that they're all the rage nowadays.
Yes, what's his name? Hold on, I gotta find what your cabbie's name is.
Deplore.
Holy shit! What is this? Are cars a thing?
You have, yes, Monk has, mentioned these kinds of things before.
Hmm.
Monk is
Well.
your full orc caravaneer who does deliveries around town.
We have a delivery service?
You have a
Wait,
delivery
what?
service?
Yeah, we said
I'm
this a
pretty
while ago,
sure-
didn't we?
I'm pretty sure that only me and Queglod knew about that.
Wait, guys,
We're literally 10 years advanced to the entire society.
guys, are you telling me that we've had a driver this entire time
Yes.
and Elsyan hasn't been using his power move?
Correct.
I don't
Why
think
was
he
Elsyan
drives
not
the kind of vehicle that Elsyan would want.
I mean,
to
if you want to sit in the
seen
back of a bumpy car with, I mean, let's be honest. Right now, it's probably not the best time for that.
Elsyan don't care. If he can flex on anybody using it, he's going to try.
I don't think he wants to flex with the ice he's had to have applied.
Okay, right at this moment, no. He might have to get a specially made cushion with holes just for the testicles to sit in.
Oh,
But they have
God.
space to move.
Yes.
a little
Anyway,
bit.
so
Oh.
as the rest of you move around town and you begin to investigate, looking around and discovering various things, people have gone missing. There are no bodies. It's strange. It's as if they just up and left in the middle of the night. There is no broken entry. There's no recorded measures of some of them even leaving their home. It's as if they vanished.
Right, okay. I would like to look, Queglod, I'd like to investigate something quickly.
Of course.
I would like
Yeah.
to go investigate where I tried to make a murder look like an accident.
Okay.
Which, in hindsight, was a terrible plan.
As you head there,
I'm trying to make it look like I'm not specifically heading straight towards this place.
okay.
Because that would be suspicious, and it would make it seem like I murdered him. And of course, I didn't. I merely tried to cover it up.
Merely witnessed it. As you slowly
And
but
told the guy
surely
off.
head back to that location, the body has been removed, and there is currently a guard stationed in the area as he currently just watching the flow of traffic. As you wander by,
Okay.
nothing really suspicious going on.
Okay. I'm guessing the body's been moved by this point.
The body has been
There.
moved.
Okay. 1 second.
As you investigate around town, there's nothing to go on. There's no trace. It's as if people just up and vanished. Disappeared in the wind, as if there was just a sudden change and they were gone.
Mm,
Like puffs of smoke. There's no trace left.
like the phoenix. Didn't...
Hmm.
Oh, God.
Could speak to Rahal about this, see if she think.
Looking
You can
into
get
it
a
with
list-
Rahal, some of her agents have gone missing as well.
Okay.
Some of the ones investigating specifically went missing. She suspects that if the Geist is to blame, that there would be bodies, but there aren't. Which means that she believes there may have been a bunch of individuals working on the inside for this attack, particularly.
Hmm.
She doesn't
Well,
know
yeah,
how
were any
long
of them...
seeds have been planted, but
Hmm.
okay.
Well, if we can get a list of identities of disappeared, I can't imagine we'll find anything else hasn't.
Looking through the identities, and I'll say, Queglod, as this will take up a portion of your time skip, you do not find any correlation between any of them. A lot of them seem random. There are a few that seem to have worked in groups, but otherwise they didn't specifically work in particular groups. It's strange. There's no signs of struggle, there's no nothing. The sites where they were last seen are all over town. It's just as if they up and vanished.
And no magic already. That's it. Although that would have likely disappeared anyway by
Have
this
they
point.
been
It's
tried
been
to
a while.
be scried on?
As any attempts have been made for scrying, Tiak has attempted to reach out and contact some of the members. The scrying has otherwise failed. It is blocked. Not necessarily they succeeded their save. suggests that it was either purposeful or they are otherwise alive, but in a place of protection against divination. That is the closest they have gotten, and this is a matter which is currently being investigated.
So is it a mix of like all different kinds of people then?
It was a mix of all different kinds of people. Some were just commoners who lived here for a while. Others were refugees who came from other areas of the Empire. Some were miners, some shop owners, some soldiers, some bounty hunters and assassins from the Phoenix. Others were crafters from the Phoenix and other members. It's a mishmash of everybody. Every single pie has had a finger put in it, and somebody has gone missing.
So there were some nobles and such as.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, including personal guard to some of the individuals in charge as well.
Interesting.
So just about anything that was
Is
going
this all
on
at the
in
same
city.
time or just incrementally?
Incrementally. It happened over the course of a day. People were going missing like hours after each other. And this was, and notably, this happened just before the attack and just after, as well as during. So people were going missing throughout that time period. People going missing does happen, but people going missing that quickly and in that vast number with no trace is suspicious. They
Seems
can't have left town and walked out of town because there would have been traces of them. They can't have teleported out because they'd need to be higher level mages. It's strange.
Could a higher level mage have teleported them out
True.
against their
They
will?
could have, but that would have taken a vast amount of power, and they would have to do it one day at a time rather than over the course of 24 hours.
Not likely that there were enough high-level mages to do it one person each.
Not in a way that we wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
If there was an army of powerful enough mages to do that, we would have noticed something.
Yes.
There would be
So it
traces of something.
seems,
Yeah.
either these were kidnappings, trying to get a hold of influential people for information,
Or
these were double agents extracting themselves. Those seem to be the most probable possibilities, unless there's anything else I'm missing.
double agents. There would have been some sort of sign off though. Don't tend to
Maybe.
put them in high
Let's
society.
be frank. Rohal would have found them and killed them by now. I'm not here, fuck.
Quite. But let's be frank. Rohal would have found them and killed them
Perfect.
if there were double agents. It just makes no sense to me.
Mm.
You can't just disappear. No matter how much magic we come across. There's not like mass teleportation, is there? That's not a spell. Right?
Of the group who's with you, there's no such spell that you know of. I'd say consulting Bern and Sasha later. The closest thing would be to repetitively cast Teleportation Circle. That would be the closest. But again, that costs a lot and is rather flashy.
Someone
So it takes like a minute to cast.
Yes. Which you can't do and leave no trace. Something will be left behind.
Okay.
Well, we were originally planning on going to see where the hooded woman and that guy with the injector arm went, weren't we? Weren't we?
Are we able to find
Get them?
that?
Back soon.
I mean, I'd love to figure out what happened to them, if we're capable of.
Could we go to the scene and just have an investigate?
That's probably a good idea. I suspect it will be on lockdown, but as long as they've not...
It's not.
Temp.
You're allowed out at the moment. I mean,
Yeah,
you're wandering
no,
around
but
town.
the scene in particular, I feel like...
That there might be a bit more. They will. I'm sure someone with a higher charisma than Elsyan can talk their way in.
Fair.
Help me out then.
As you
We've got Queglod.
as you make your way
I'm
towards the
so
center of
happy.
town, You see the tower in place. You see that there are guards stationed below, but they recognize you. They do not think any worry of it. Make yourself known. They question what you're doing. Tell them you're simply investigating various things, and you are now positioned in a place. You look around the site for any presence of residue magic, any signs of casting, anything. The only thing you see is the site where the individual, where one of the individuals must have stood, where you see that some of the stones are otherwise cracked as if there was a great pressure. But other than that, there are no other signs.
This is quite frustrating. There don't seem to
Okay,
be any
so-
traces
so-
at all.
Are there no components or anything left behind? And could I do an Arcana
Are
check or
there- are
investigation
there-
check to figure
I
it out?
need to check if they're okay. Bern, you'd know. Are there components for teleport? The teleport spell?
Teleport. The spell,
Okay.
7th level? I don't think there's any.
There aren't any MGP cost. I know that much. But I know that, but I'm not sure if there is.
Components are just verbal, I believe.
I'm just gonna have a little look just because I'm curious.
Teleport is just verbal, yeah.
Just verbal.
That-
Yeah.
Wow. There's. Seems interesting.
So in such
Only
case,
only one possibility.
Let me check Sunburst.
The verbal component for teleport.
Mhm.
I don't suppose that's affected by the location you're trying to. That's it. This is a
verbal
real
component,
long shot.
It's speaking the location
Yeah.
of where you wish to go. And notably, Elsyan was keeping himself out of 60-foot range, which is beyond verbal hearing range outside of having a visual on an individual's lips. You had a
That's
visual on the
true.
individual in the hood, but you didn't have visual on their lips.
Oh fuck.
There was a
Yeah,
crowd
Sunburst-
around there. Is it at all possible someone overheard?
I will say,
Even if they don't remember overhearing, perhaps they heard and that's stored somewhere that you could.
I might be able to try to pull out.
okay,
It's a
I will-
tenuous lead, but it's worth.
okay, I will allow this. Make me, I will say, an investigation check with disadvantage, given the people you're trying to.
Yeah, we're trying to look for just
Yeah.
anyone that's in the crowd. We might have to put out a bulletin saying, "Hey, were you witness to this?"
Yeah, the only
Like they do for combat.
This
there
might
is a
take time.
material. There is a material for Sunburst. However, the individual is not using a
It
component.
doesn't have an
for it.
MGP, yeah.
It's not an MGP, so there wouldn't be anything left. Go ahead and make me the investigation check with disadvantage.
Are we all
Okay.
rolling or?
This would
very down.
just be Elsyan because he'd be trying to scan the populace's psionics.
Yeah. Okay. I was about to ask how you could have been Arcana instead, but it's literally the same. Could someone roll for me because my tabletop's being terrible? I've got a +10.
Disadvantage. That is a 12.
What?
That's a natural 2.
And that? Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, a natural 2 and a natural 10 and a natural 2. So it's not amazing.
Oh, that's.
As you try to focus and skim the populace for any psionic residue of any kind of memory, no one seems to remember. In the site where the event happened, there were a group of guards that were around the individual. Each of them had their halberds held in place. The individual teleported. There was an amount of smoke as he rose up. They held hands. She muttered something. None of them caught anything as they disappeared, wisping out of existence.
Right. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't get anything from anyone, and quite frankly, if I try to probe too deeply in some people's minds, I might break them.
No, that's entirely. This was a long shot anyway. I only figured it
So
was worth a try.
realistically, we came here, we got nothing. It feels like we should be able to get more.
Hmm.
I've just had a thought.
Go
It
on.
might I suggest that we take a rest before we go on and have a bit of time to settle a bit before we do this. But we should get the shard that's closest to here, because I
Yes,
do believe that
then you'll be able to detect.
exactly. I'll be able to detect where this
Hmm.
fucker is.
We've got a lot on our plate, but that is something that we should get done sooner.
And
than
as
later.
long as we can track him, it should be easy enough.
That will remove some of the urgency, at least.
Yes.
If we can get a
But,
precise location, we can pass it on.
Exactly.
Very well.
But
We'll have to discuss plans as a group.
with the other
Got a lot to be done.
group, yes, we got a lot.
You return home. Making your way back to the tavern, you take your seats, you each begin to discuss, you have meals, you discuss the various things that happened during the day. As the day goes by, you go into the third day and the arena begins. Those of you who partook in the event have already done your fight. As the fight went on, the fight between Rook and the other champion, two had a one-on-one spar. They both took it very seriously, but not too seriously in an attempt to win. They had fight, tried various things, and in a very clutch victory, the champion won over Rook. Ultimately, as the combat drew to a close, Sasha was then sent out to complete her task. Sasha wandered out, plate armor on, shield and mace not. As she wore her gauntlets and in a one-on-one faced a chained chimera, its wings bound and otherwise set in place, Sasha fought the creature with various healing spells and other ways to restore her own hit points. Kept herself going for the better part of 3 to 5 minutes as she bludgeoned this creature to death with punches, and ultimately it fled back into the way which it was released, with Sasha on board it. After several attempts of trying to pry Sasha from the creature's cage, the chained chimera was left to its business as Queglod, Bern, and Rook went up against their fight against two other individuals, the main event. After proceeding with that and a victory coming out for the Dawnseekers, other events took place. They proceeded to head home, their victories in tow. With that day gone by, and Elsyan doing various researching around town as well as looking into the individuals in the tavern, you discover that none of them have any particular misalignments. None of them are spies, none of them are dangerous to you. None of them are trying to do anything or double-cross you. You discover that Borox, the individual for the Undercity, has otherwise been spying on you for the Phoenix, making sure that you're keeping compliance and not trying to do anything behind their back. The only other thing you discover is that with Feng, he's otherwise concerned and doesn't want to leave the tavern on your next adventure. He wishes to stay here. He wishes to read up, he wishes to discover various things and work with Abod on the blade. As you investigate the Noble Society, you find that several one or two of the families have had members of the families go missing, not the entire families themselves. We're talking children, ones who have never left Adamanthia, not even on business trips.
Do these children have any of anything of particular note about them?
The only thing to note is that they're human. And as you begin to think through all the notes, all the individuals kidnapped are human. All of them. And Queglod, you pick this up after being spoken to, after Elsyan speaks with you on the at the end of the third day. As you go through, every single one of them is a human individual born in Adamanthia or a refugee from a town no more than 2 towns and cities away. It's strange, and it can't be a coincidence. You suspect,
my god, the kidnappers are racist.
You suspect that they are kidnappings.
But they're just racist against humans. Who cares?
So are you guys.
Oh yeah, none of us are actually human, are we? Well, we're safe.
Oh, we're fine. You're not really human either. You're dead.
I'm a dead human.
Your point?
Got you there.
You're a corpse.
So,
Of a human.
So, Sovak was a corpse of an elf. He was mainly known for being undead.
You're a human corpse.
There's a difference between having flesh and being bone.
Yes.
at least Sovek had a nose.
Are you telling me I'm Voldemort?
No.
Yes. No.
So,
Where does my mustache come out of?
your nose is your mustache.
Oh,
So, as the third day goes on, passing the information to the relative individuals, discovering various things, the High Minister returns to you and tells you that your paperwork is in order. The Hallow is in place to be in presence only over your tavern. Any future expansions are not brought into the agreement. This is including things off property. That's part of the agreement. He does tell you that with Forbiddance you are not a governmental building, and that, unfortunately, Malcom is not an official envoy or similar diplomatic power that has been brought to Adamantha.
Okay, he's the literal heir.
Not yet.
because the Barrenland's political system is weird.
And also, when it came to the whole diplomat type thing, it was I'm just a cover for the person that was supposed to be it.
Yeah, and she's otherwise been MIA since before winter. So there is no diplomatic envoy from the Barren Lands in the city as it stands. Malcom is otherwise considered a refugee, meaning that he is not allowed to speak on behalf of that, and thus your tavern cannot be assigned as a imperial building of significance. You are refunded your 1,000
what I'm
gold.
hearing is our only potential option would be to pull the Dawn Marshal card, and we all know that that would be a bad idea.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's going to be a time where we're going to have to pull that, but we don't have proof yet. And
Well, we have Guardian Miadal.
yes, true.
The problem
don't have
is,
time.
even if we are capable of proving it, we're going to be called to Oregon
Yeah.
to give, and we
But
do not.
we
have
know
to-
about this negative vault, and if we can shove one of the bits of the Blind Butcher in there, that'd probably be pretty good for it.
I'm also feeling a heist coming. But that's because I have terrible ideas, so don't listen.
So as the fourth day rocks around, you wake up, the egg and bacon sandwiches are brought to you.
Every morning.
Every morning. Right now your calorie intake is through the roof, as is the major populace of the crafters that come into your tavern. But they're
I'm
active
going to
workers
say
a
this:
lot of the
the
time.
sheer amount of stress we're all going through currently is probably burning through a lot of it.
Yeah, true. As you wake up, you have your breakfast, you hear the sound of, strangely enough, breaking wood. As you hear the sound of it splintering, as you then hear the sound of a key being set in lock, as the back door to your tavern is opened, and you watch as Malcom enters in. He wanders in, otherwise carrying the book that you claimed from the Darkroot Ruin under his arm. You see his companions with him as he wanders in, as you are just about to start discussing what you're going to be doing, or if you wish to catch him up.
Okay.
Hello. I'm back.
Hi.
Everything's fucked.
You know
Where
what?
the
I expected
fuck were
this.
you?
Look, I told you.
We
that
were
it-
worried. Sick, you could have
I
been.
left a note.
Your
Even-
father has been crying through the night. I pointed Queglod.
Ignore Sasha. She's being a bit weird.
It's
I
So-
left a note, and I did say when my dragon was going to hatch, I was going.
I know.
Yes,
but
we
seriously,
know.
some
But seriously,
crazy
we could've-
shit.
how caught up are you?
Huh? What?
I think that's what we're doing now, Queglod.
So you know nothing of what's happened.
No, nobody's kept in touch, even though I put it in the note.
Sasha.
No.
He did. He put in the note, P.S. Have Sasha send sendings.
There has literally not been time.
Okay, so what happened?
To cut things into their most simplest form. An assassin murdered Hurricane. Don't worry, he got better due to me. Did succeed in killing Regan's coma body, which is, not great, but also practically doesn't really make a massive difference. It's like same issues, different, just slightly different ending result. Hurricane has been removed as governor, because of this assassination attempt, and we've got a few more super powerful individuals brought in. Unfortunately, they do not. They're not okay with me making forbidden. So I've definitely told Abbott to stop doing that. Chris, I'm making sure that I've told him to not do that.
I told you were refunded the 1,000 ruby dust, which you now have.
I can use it at some point if I ever really, really fucking need to be safe for a bit. As long as they don't find out about it, I'm fine. Anyhow, so that happened. Yeah. One of those real sticklers for the rules kind of guys. So we're probably going to have to be a little bit. Well, I'm going to be reading up on my lore and law, which is funny because Infernal has Bern has lore, and I'm reading up on lore and law and the lore of law.
Sasha's also
okay,
been
what's
having a
happening
mental
here?
break.
Hello, I'm back.
Sasha's having a mental breakdown.
No, just having fun with wordplay. Also, I beat the shit out of a chimera with my bare hands.
That's
Yes,
not
we
nice.
saw
Shit
that.
out of my testicles with her bare hands.
Hey, no, my hands were not bare. They had a ogre strength gauntlets on.
And someone
So
do a quick
much
recap
worse.
of what happened after the thing.
I'm lost.
Oh, and Rook has a family.
Oh,
He's married and has kids.
I could have swore you told me that, didn't you, Rook?
yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
told
But he didn't.
Malcom?
You told Malcolm before us?
We're
We're
from the
almost offended.
Barrenlands.
Shut up! You're a prince. You're a prince. You don't
Hey?
count
Sasha,
as a prince
Sasha,
of the Barrenlands. You're a
Sasha.
noble. You're all the same.
Sasha. Calm. Deep breaths. Breathing. It's good. Use it. Please. Calm yourself.
Yes.
Ultimately, what's happened is you remember the syringe guy, right?
The
Guy
one
with
that's
the
the lady.
I believe so, yes. He came back and decided that Regan needed to die alongside Hurricane. Sasha thankfully revivified Hurricane. And Regan is now actually dead instead of in a magically induced coma, thanks to having no soul. That is ultimately what's happened. There have now been replacements for Hurricane put in. And we need to be a little bit more careful around. They seem to be immensely powerful.
And also
ridiculous in the
sticklers for the
rules.
rules.
Yeah.
And yes, they very much like the rule. We're not going to have to actually pay for the hallow here. If Hurricane, didn't get the paperwork sorted, which I was
Which he did.
sneaky. I have.
Yes.
He did. That was announced during part of the.
Yeah.
Blank regular.
Again, it's not technically a place of worship, so I think we had a bit of wiggle room there. Just barely. But we had
had
found
grounds for it in Hurricane's opinion, and Hurricane allowed it, but despite the usual stuff, because I believe, as you were correctly stated, you did pay for a small portion of it, but not the full license.
Indeed.
Because you still had to pay for the full temple if you wanted to have anything like that built.
Which I don't think any of us particularly want a temple built here, do we?
No, not really. It might be helpful in the long run because it'll bring in clerics nearby, but that's about it, in my opinion. We could start a religion, though, if we wanted.
Yes, the religion of Elsyan. No. No, dreadful, dreadful name.
One moment.
Come up with a good name later.
So new people taking over. Reagan dead. Hurricane's out of
Commission, yes.
out of commission, and the new people are stickler for rules.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much
what
got
you've
it.
gotten so far. Although they seem like they're probably going to have a bit of tight, which may or may not be a good thing. That there were moments where I thought Hurricane was a bit useless.
In that case, I'm going to need Rook and Bern to come with me later.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Ooh, where are we going?
What? Yeah.
You two need to get your papers.
Papers?
Yes, you plan to have a griffin later, and he has the rust monster. And in order to have them in the city, you need papers saying that you're allowed to own them.
How do I
I'm
need to
not
get the
looking-
griffin first? Because,
Nope.
like,
You need to have
Nope.
the papers before you get the animals. Currently, your rust monster is a stowaway, and the griffin will be too.
Yes, so I don't want to get any fines, so we're gonna have to take care of that.
fine.
The licensing is free, so long as they're not quote-unquote open carry creatures. If you want to take them out into the street, then you're going to need to pay a license, which was 100 gold.
Yes, it was.
So I need
But
to
if-
pay 100 gold on top of the 1,000 gold I've paid to go and get it.
Yes,
Look,
that was of your own
I-
choice, though.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it was for the extra eggs, weren't it? Yeah, alright. Cool. Good to know.
I see. That's fine.
and I'd
So-
also like to meet the new people running the city.
How is your dragon?
They're doing well. I don't yet know their name. They currently can't speak.
Are they born with a name? Or shouldn't you be the one to...
From my understanding, they are born with a name. They won't know it until later on.
I just want to clear something up here. By the term they, I take it that's more than one dragon?
No,
No,
I'm
so
just
go
referring to
back
dragons
to
in general.
Oh, right, okay, right.
But your dragon,
Yes,
It-
my
it-
dragon.
they're at the sanctuary now.
Yes. I had a chat with Gravel Snout, and
Have they
They were-
had any movement there with of the prince? Anything shown up? 'Cause or
They didn't mention it in your stay. You spent most of your time reading the book in order to complete it.
no, not that I know of. I couldn't really do much since I was mostly reading the book here that I actually finished. I'm surprised.
Nice. Very good. Okay. Well,
Wait, so is it just Malcolm that came up?
Hmm.
Or is everyone
No, it's Malcolm, Arachne, B, Orm.
Doran, yeah.
Oh wait, no. Didn't you say that Orm was gonna be staying with the egg?
Yes, sorry. Orm stays with the baby dragon now.
okay,
Yeah.
so it's
Protect
just
it.
be an
Yeah.
arachne then.
Yes. Oh yeah, wasn't I able to choose something to take with me? Or you said I would be able to take something from there with me while Orm stays with the egg.
Oh,
Or the-
no, that was after the dragon's old enough. You can create a second drake to take with you, or you
okay.
can create a second one to stay with the baby dragon, and then Orm comes with you.
Okay.
The baby dragon just has to be old enough for you to be able to perform the ritual again.
Yeah. Okay. Understood now.
So, while we're all together, what's our future plans? What do we want to do?
I would like to suggest something.
Me too,
Uh,
but you go first.
I would
Okay.
actually like to ask you a question, Elsyan.
Oh no, that's never a good sign. I'll just suggest this first, and then you ask away. I can send these shards, one of which is in the syringe of this gentleman, and we believe the syringe also holds the soul of the dragon.
Also, his heart. That's
Also,
a thing.
that's also important. Fine, yes, fair enough, Sasha. I can only ever sense the closest one to me. I've been checking daily. There's the one down to the south. That is right. If I've been checking daily, it's just been there's one down to the south.
Down to the south, in the area or surrounding, in the area surrounding area of Tower Key.
Talakeen.
Tower Key. It's a
Tower Key. Tower. Something keen. Keen. I'm getting there. My things is lagging. Yeah, Tower Key. Okay, fine. Stop pinging, please. Of somewhere in the area of Tower Keen. I swear to God, I know Chris has the flip table functions banned, but I swear that if somehow I'll press it, I'll somehow bypass that. I don't know how I will, but I will. And destroying this would be terrible. It would be dreadful. Maybe it will just flip the main table.
No, it flips everything.
Does it? That's amazing. But in around talking, if I can get that, if I can take in that, that's the best way. Absorb it is probably the simplest way of saying it. I will then be able to sense where this person is almost at all times, because it is the last shard. If I can get that, then we can tell what this fucker with the needle arm is, and then if he's coming anywhere close, then we should be safe. Then we will know, and a lot less urgency, and we have to get here just in case.
Okay.
What question did you want to ask, Malcom?
I've been thinking on this for a while. You said you were over near the Emerald Sanctuary when you left, right?
Yes, I did.
How did you get there? Because I've been doing the calculations, and the time between you being there and you coming back doesn't match.
What, are you assuming that I walked there?
I would like. I mean, it's the only.
I got permission from. I believe I got permission from Hurricane to teleport over to Oregon.
You teleported to Oregon.
Yes. I teleported to Oregon, and then I moved down to Coldfields, picked up I believe it was Coldfields that I got the party from, was it?
And then you headed up through that other path just before Boston.
And then got there. It didn't take me long. Granted, most of the time was spent in the Emerald Sanctuary, and I'd rather not discuss what happened there. It's a horrifying place. Don't ever go there if you can avoid it.
I would like to go there.
You are a terrible person.
I have something to deliver there.
It is full of terrifying dryads and green dragons.
Yes,
No.
I know.
Why? Why would you want to go? I went there for some eldritch shard that I really wish I didn't. I made friends on that trip, and they're dead. And mostly not because of me.
I'm very glad you said mostly, because I was going to call bullshit on that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. They died valiantly performing their job.
Was that defending you while you run away?
I did not run away. I made a necessary retreat because I could not take on an adult green dragon. I'm sorry, they were about to die anyway.
I called it.
And just because I managed to save my money on that, nothing.
Alright, first of all,
pussy move.
Yes, we all know Elsyan's a pussy. But
okay.
Now, the important thing is we have two major important things right now.
Hmm.
One of them is the shard, because that has Regan's fucking soul in it, and also these bastards are annoying. And did you say they were
There was a
kidnapping people?
Oh, yes, humans. They seem to just be kidnapping humans. Now, while none of us here at this table are human, apart from you, Bern, but you're dead, so that doesn't really count.
Yeah, Bern's a corpse, he doesn't count.
Specifically, humans either born in the city or within 2 miles, was it?
2 cities within. I don't know.
Yeah.
Laser. Okay. That either sounds like some weird sort of sex thing or a weird sort of evil experiment thing. And this is the second thing, we go to Golodon and the Rust Forest and fucking deal with that shit, because we have been putting it off somewhat.
I agree that
So
we do. But
I'm
I have got
trying-
a request. Before
Yep.
we
What
do
is your
that,
request?
I'm
Oh.
somewhat limited in regards to time, which is the only reason why I would bring this up, is
Right.
I need to get a griffin egg. They hatch in a couple of weeks' time. It's a couple of day journey, 5 day, depending on the
Okay,
teleportation.
where do
Where?
we need to go?
Because that may help us actually figure out where next
I-
we need to go after that.
I take out my map and I point in right there.
Right where?
Right here.
Oh god, it's really not that far away, is it?
No, it's really not far away.
It's in the
It's like
mountains.
it's a relative next door.
And
It's
with-
a three. It would be a 3-day travel because it takes a day to get to the mine. Then you've got to travel south by a day. Then you've got to go up the mountains, and then but on that third day you've got to just figure out where the eggs are.
Should we move the party marker to Adamantia?
Oh yeah.
I can get us over towards where the wolves were, near where the wolves were before they moved. Because there was a tree over there that I could be able to transport vehicles on.
I can take us to the mine, which would take out a day.
But I can get us on the mountain.
From here?
To the edge of the mountain, yeah. There's a tree.
Yeah.
It's not large enough to transport any large creatures, so you wouldn't. Be
Oh,
able to
so
take
he has a
Arachne
tree.
with
Okay.
it.
Well, we can shrink Arachne and Rook.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't.
Rook only applies for carrying capacity. He's fine.
Yeah,
I believe
Rook only
carrying
applies to
capacity
carry
is
capacity. He's
structure.
big, but he could otherwise fit.
Yeah.
Actually,
He's more.
wait. I'm going to check the transport plants thing. Because do you have to be able to fit the creature through the trunk? Because if you do,
Oh,
then the
Jesus
tree
Christ,
you
I'm 7
found.
foot.
Yeah, if that's
Not
the case,
big.
it's more the width I'm worried about, not the
Sasha will be too fat to fit.
thickness, if you will.
Thick.
Down with the thickness.
How many C's is the important thing?
Yeah,
Rook's
how
down
many
for
C's?
3.
Because the main thing with that is that the tree that you found up there, it's not a wide tree. So if the character has to fit through it, you'd only really be able to fit small creatures through, which would be
Okay,
Queglod.
this creature creates a magical link between a larger inanimate plant within range and another plant at a distance of on the same plane of existence. You
So
must
it
have
doesn't-
single touch the destination for the duration. Any creature can step into the target plant and exit from a destination plant by using 5 feet of
So
movement.
yes, you would be able to then.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like out in the book. It
Yeah,
makes you
I
feel
would say
powerful.
logically you can't fit creatures that are say larger than the tree through it, but they're like huge or larger.
Well, it might be that part of the magic is that it sort of morphs the tree slightly. Go through.
Yeah.
As long as
I'd
it's
say
not
worst
massive.
comes to worst, like you can fit through some surprisingly small spaces.
Skull's actually for human beings. Skull's actually the smallest non-compressible thing we can move. Yes, that does include your shoulders. There may be a bit of cracking going on, but you can
Snap,
do it.
fold. Ugh.
Oh, when. Oh.
Right. Okay. So yeah, if that's
Harlan, stop
possible,
gagging.
I'd like to do
Soon
that.
that's Harlan.
I
Elsyan.
would like
The fuck?
to back Rook up because I did promise him after the ravine I would help convince you guys to go there since it's only a limited time. Otherwise, he'd have to wait till next year, which I don't think he.
I'm fine to go and do this so long as then Bern will teleport us over to where we need to be in near Golodon or whatever.
If
I mean, that's
What do
just
we plan to do in Golodon? That's my
We
question.
plan to check on the druids because they've been missing.
Druids, look
Check on the druid.
look for shell. I'm gonna set fire to my axe like a psychopath.
Yes.
and-
yes, we need to do that in Golodon, and then we need to head into Stonering Forest. Because the
yes.
druids keeping watch on the portion of the blind butcher that's kept there have gone
Yeah,
dark.
the body, I believe.
We also need to get to Rust.
Oh, that's a thought. I'm going to send a sending to Maverick and ask how he's doing.
Maverick turns up dead. Oh,
That's
no.
a good point. You send a sending. What do you say?
Maverick, any update on you? I'm currently in Adamanthia. Can teleport if required. From Sasha. Love. Kiss kiss.
Why do you do that every
Yep.
time?
You get the reply. This music's too cheery.
Oh, fuck.
This isn't really cheery music, Chris. I'm just saying.
No.
Yeah, but it could be worse. There we go.
There we go.
We were attacked.
No.
The Guardian is dead.
Oh god.
I, Maverick, and most of the goblins are alive.
Oh dear.
They stole something before my time.
Oh dear.
Be careful.
All right, so that's one down.
What one was that one?
That's
That was the soul.
Right, okay, we need to be
Golodon.
Golodon.
Honestly, they're getting the shard will be more of a convenience thing.
Yeah, we're not. The
So we're
shard does not
planning on
fucking
just-
matter.
So we're planning on just sitting there and waiting until they come.
No, we're planning. No, we're not planning on sitting there and waiting until they come. We're planning on researching what's going on there, seeing if they've already been, and if we can access the item and get it put inside that negative vault before.
We can't.
Why
we
can't
can't
we?
move it.
It's too
It
big.
is. No,
We don't
isn't it?
know that.
it is a major ley line. I know this. It provides power to a major ley line up there. If it's removed,
Fuck
things
the ley
will go
lines.
wrong everywhere.
Elsyan, in your book of lore, you would understand this. If a ley line is disrupted, enchanted forests die within days.
They're dumbs.
So the entire Stone Ring forest would be destroyed.
It's either we destroy it or someone else does.
Like,
Nice.
if we can get that area defended, I'm okay with
Right.
that. But if we can't, it's better that we destroy it and take it to a place where the prince can't get his hands on it, than the prince destroys it and he has the blind butcher.
Agreed. We'll head up there, see
Like,
what we can
I
do.
agree, it's not an ideal option, but if we don't have another option, then it's what we're going
we
to
go
have to
for
do.
the heart.
How
We're
do you
not-
propose that we do something about the heart?
We take the heart. We can move the heart. The heart's not going to do as much damage as removing the body would.
Okay, but we'd have to find the heart and then get to it, and then figure out how to
And
unearth it.
We have less information on the heart, on the whereabouts and where we find it.
Right, what? We need to know.
The heart's also less of a priority because it ought to be harder for the Prince of Blood to get. as it is already. The
I
enchanted
believe
blade
he
is
already
not
knows
an
where they
easy
are,
place.
does he not?
One person talking at a time, please. I will say, if the Prince of Blood has already got that, we need to know if it is the Prince of Blood that's attacked. If not, then try to secure one. But if not, then it's done already. There's nothing we can do to stop it. So we go there, we figure out whether it was the Prince of Blood. If it wasn't, great. We try to reinforce the place. If that's not possible, then we have to make the hard decision. What comes. We can't be chasing after something and spending more time focusing on another task. That's how this is going to have to be. It seems best bet to me, and Sasha and Queglod agree.
And you've got to remember, Rook's axe will also potentially be empowered there, and Rook's axe is what we need to kill the prince permanently.
We do
also-
more agendas up north than we would elsewhere, as far as I know.
This might be a chance to stop. If we somehow get that and the Prince of Blood is still there, then that is also that's another potential issue.
Remember, removing the body is the last resort.
Absolutely.
For all we know, the druids are still active, only having some difficulty.
In which
We can
case,
help them with that and guarantee that the seal is still
secure.
robust. Then, in theory, the job should be done.
In which case, if we feel like it can be defended and it is safe, then I'm happy to personally stay there for a month and cast Forbiddance on it until it's fully defended. I don't give a shit about illegality. To keep it safe or safer.
And if it comes down to it, and the Prince of Blood does try to go over after it while we're there, well, we're a lot stronger than fought him last.
So we go to Gordon and potentially end up making a hard decision, or we don't go and a hard decision gets made for us. I know which I prefer.
Yes, I agree. My vote is.
I am
Gordon.
interested. Do you have any plans on the fight then, if you're suggesting we go for that now?
Well, considering that we know the one that actually controls the forest, that they would probably know where it is.
Didn't we ask them already and they didn't?
No, we haven't been there since we talked about it.
I thought we were sending.
Yeah, we did.
We sent a sending to my father, but he's not the one that controls the forest.
I thought we talked to the guy in the forest. What?
Well, if you know his name, we can send a sending to him.
Dippy has no verbal language.
Yes.
Dippy cannot use or work with sending.
Yeah. We'd have to go there in person to find out.
And we go to the in person and find out if it turns out the thing is correct. Fine, whatever. We can then look into the heart. We can teleport now. It's not as much of a commitment to go places.
Either way, we're going to lose a day at most.
Hmm.
So, I say, okay, my vote is for Golodon.
Golodon. Of course, after getting the griffin.
After getting the griffin.
Because I can imagine a griffin would be really helpful.
Well, we'd have to wait for it to hatch.
Yeah.
Still, a griffin would be really helpful.
Yeah, something to keep in mind. Keeping the egg on you in your bag probably isn't going to help hatch it. You'd need to take it back to the hatchers in the Church of Steel Arena anyway.
Yeah.
So you need to return the eggs.
That's fine, but we had the plan with the
teleport
teleportation circle, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I, s- I suppose we could have a vote. Not a big fan of democracy.
Okay.
That's
Goladon?
nice to meet you.
Goladon.
Golodon.
Right.
Goladon.
Well, you've already got us beat there, so.
Goladon?
I
I
was
understand.
interested.
I understand your point about.
I
the
am.
heart.
I was
just think-
gonna bring it up. I'm not sure if it's a plan or not, but since the enchanted glade is not that far away, we could try and just go and ask your contact there. If he knows exactly where it is, then that is helpful. If
My
not,
only thinking: would it be possible to split into teams? We don't necessarily all have to go after the egg at once.
Okay, that's a fair shout.
well, the problem is I'm the one teleporting us.
Yeah, you're the one teleporting, but you can teleport us to Goladon, right?
Yes.
Could you then teleport back?
If you could
Teleport
then take,
to
if
Anthea.
if you wanted to teleport back, you could go and talk to him, and then do you think you'd be able to teleport to us directly or near us?
Well, I'm not
But-
really sure.
Hold on. So, just to understand, the plan is to do Goladon the day after tomorrow.
No, our plan is to get to Griffins, which is going to take like 3 days at least. Right?
3
I
days
thought we
of
were teleporting.
walking.
It'll take 2 days at least, because
At least.
I'm
Where's
not
the tree?
sure. But at most, at most, yeah.
Okay, for clarification for the spell's context
please.
nature of this. The tree is here. The nests are not that far, so it would take a day's travel to get there. So it cuts 2 days travel out of the 3 days of walking. The travel into the mountains would also incorporate trying to find the nests, and then you would be under the cover of night if you wish to try and take the eggs then. Alternatively, you could wait for the day, which would then require a little bit of a waiting game. And that would take transport via plants. That would take one use of that, and then the rest would be walking, because you have no other way of getting
Okay.
there quickly.
My only thinking is, if the plan is to use stealth there, it's probably not a good idea to send the entire party.
Yeah.
So how about the other half of the party, including Malcom, heads to the Enchanted Glade?
I'm also going to say this as a portion to something because Rook has put this out there. He has bought a egg collector's license for this. He needs to carry back 4 eggs to make a profit.
Well-
One, including one for him. It takes a full medium character to carry an egg.
Well, that's tough, quite frankly. The big issue is the
No, that's fine. If I have to take the hit, let's take the hit. It was more to train up the griffins to be used in the military for Adamanthia.
But there are bigger issues that we need
Yeah,
to be
exactly.
focusing on than trying to get. Hey guys, have these griffins for your military.
Yeah,
It's-
no, that's perfectly sound. When I made the decision, I didn't take that into account, so that was the decision I made.
One thing with that is if you end up getting attacked in the Enchanted Glades, we're separated.
Well, once you get to the Enchanted Glade, how long would it take to make contact with Dippy?
Well, considering last time, I don't think it will take too long.
How long is too long?
From my understanding, they can control travel time through the forest.
Oh, that
You
makes.
you know that it takes longer for individuals to make it through the forest than it should, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's the other way
Dippy's
around.
gonna
Actually,
be
no. Technically, it takes less
Okay.
time for people to get
Less,
through the forest.
yes.
I feel.
Yes, sorry. Less. Yes, and that's because of Dippy.
Okay. Well,
So, have you talked to Dippy in person?
We've all seen Dippy, except for
Right.
Bern and Rook.
Have you got anything currently on you from Dragon Sanctuary?
From the Dragon Sanctuary.
Or from a particular location where Dippy is nearby or close? Or-
I don't think so. Yeah, no.
If your intention there is for Scry in terms of a location, Dippy is never in one place.
I was more thinking it might be useful for the teleport as the associated object.
I thought the
Oh.
plan was to use transportation via plant.
Oh, that's true. That'll work. Yeah, okay, look. We voted on Golodon, and I think
Yeah, but with the assumption
whichever
that we
one
would
we
be...
go to, it's going to end. Something shit's going to happen, I'm sure of it.
No,
Yeah, we're just discussing logistics for tomorrow. Because
Well, it might be worth
we can
just,
get two things done.
might be worth asking him if he knows where exactly it is. Then great. If not, we just teleport to Golodon straight after.
And what you got? How long did you have, Rook? 2 weeks, was it?
2 weeks before they hatch, and then it gets a little bit more difficult at that point.
Okay, so we won't be in Golodon for more than a week, will we?
If we
That's
plan
not
to stay
guaranteed.
here, I personally, if we go to Golodon, I do not want to move the court.
We know that,
We've got
but
that.
if it is the only option, then it's the only option. None of us want to do it. Like, I think we can all say that. Nobody
For once, I don't
wants
want
to
to
do
cause
that.
destruction to an ancient magical thing. That's
too rich for even Elsyan's blood. We want to keep this thing safe and here, if possible. But if this thing is going to get moved, and that's going to fuck things up, that is why wouldn't we go to that one and try and keep it safe?
Well, the problem with that is he might just bring the other two and just resurrect them straight there. He doesn't need to
Like,
move
we
it.
can say that for any of them.
just arguing is not going to get us anywhere. Ultimately, that's obviously going to be a case of the resurrection.
Well, I think the easiest way is we get the Griffin. Since we're going to be close by the Enchanted Glade, why not just stop there? Ask if he knows where it is. If not, just go straight back to Adamanti and teleport to Golod.
That was my suggestion.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I thought the quickest way to do it would be to have some people work on the Griffin whilst Malcom and potentially someone else or some other people head to the Enchanted Glade. Get everything done tomorrow, and then head off to Golod on the day after.
If it's merely bodies you need to actually help you carry these eggs, that's one.
Well, it depends.
I'm sure we could find some people to actually.
Well,
I mean, there is a question to be asked here.
Mhm.
Can eggs survive inside a bag of holding?
No,
They won't fit in the bag of holding.
no, there.
Yeah, because the bag of holding's got a weird opening.
Bastards.
The opening is actually surprisingly specific about a bag. To put a staff and you have to angle it really fucking weirdly.
Yeah, that's something I've taken into account with the eggs.
Can we buy a portable hole, maybe?
Do you have the money for a portable hole?
No.
Didn't think so. Actually, how much would a portable hole be, Crab?
that's a good question. Because I
It's
might.
like 1,000, isn't it?
Let me check previous records.
500 or 1,000, I think, for a portable.
In the shopping, let's see who was selling them.
Martin. Infernal. was
Martin and Infernal were selling them for 2,500 each.
I can buy it.
You can. The portable hole's actually really tempting. Now, would the aspects of a portable hole mean that the eggs couldn't survive in them?
It means that there's no air for 10 minutes, or after 10 minutes, correct?
True, but do eggs need
don't
air?
breathe.
They still need air, though.
They do.
True, but like if you said the same thing, I could hold my breath after that 10 minutes. True, but once air leaves, so does heat. Because you enter into a vacuum. And at that
Yeah,
point,
that
you're
is
running
good,
off of
that's
your
good.
own.
Wait, does the air leave? I thought
Yes.
the idea
No,
was
no,
that
the air doesn't
oxygen
leave.
got consumed.
It's just the oxygen is consumed. The air can't leave. Otherwise, there'd have to be a leak within the astral thing. It's just it only has the air that is within it from the original thing. So if you're breathing in it, then it would have to be.
Yes, but eggs don't breathe, so surely they'd be fine. Otherwise, if the physical air leaves and there's a vacuum, a lot of things will be able to survive in a portable hole because they get ripped apart.
Yeah, and we don't need to keep them for longer than 10 minutes.
It's just for carrying them through the teleport, isn't it?
Yeah, essentially.
It's just for carrying them easily, so not one person can take all of them.
So now I need a science.
Are you also looking up whether eggs need air, Chris?
Yes.
I don't. This site is from 2009. I don't trust it. There's always a cut off for me.
Alright, time to call up my
Does anyone know what
actual doctor friend. Biologist.
Now, are they an ornithologist or are they a medical?
Well,
doctor?
they studied biology for fucking 10 years.
Here's something that might matter
No,
for,
they might.
for a biological purpose. If you look at it from a human standpoint, the baby gets oxygen through a bloodstream that comes from the mum and then transfers over. But there isn't that connection here.
There isn't the connection in the egg because the egg doesn't draw anything in. The egg is more of an outer casing to protect the embryo inside and all the stuff.
Okay, I've just looked this up, and eggs do in fact breathe. They have tiny pores in them.
Yes.
You're
that's-
kidding.
No, it
But
works the same, I'm going to guess, as insects
There
because it has
is a secondary point here,
Yes.
which is that they do have a relative to their size, a quite large air sac in them, which is how they breathe.
Okay.
Which means they can go for slightly longer than you would expect without air.
Great, but it says in the portable hole's description, a breathing creature can survive for up to 10 minutes, after which it begins to suffocate. So, if it can hold its breath, that's fine. But it doesn't matter what size the creature is.
Yeah, that's fair.
You could
God.
you could fit a gargantuan creature in here, and it could hold its breath for 2 hours.
Guys, we could just hire
So-
some random fuckwits to carry these things. If we're willing to spend money on a portable hole, why not bring portable idiots?
Didn't we say that we weren't going to bother with the hassle of getting lots of them?
Yeah, I mean, if
Just get the one
yeah,
that Rook
just
needs?
the
Fine.
one. I'm
Then
happy to just get
That
the
should
one.
be easy to carry through anyway.
I
shouldn't
mean,
Yeah.
whatever happens, just like anyone who's there can carry an egg and take it and teleport back. That's fine.
If we ever need to make the profit back, we can just go back at some other time.
we can figure something out. and we can always get
can't. The license lasts this year and for the next month. Because
quite fair.
getting a permanent license requires a lot more paperwork.
Yeah.
He had a day.
You can get the profit back from the deeds of the Griffin. It really. But honestly, if I'm honest, splitting the party sounds like a terrible idea.
I have
I
got
mean,
to
if-
agree.
Spending
Case-
2,500 gold to get 1,000 gold back is not worth it.
That is a
That's
very good.
loss.
Yeah, I have to agree.
But splitting us up is just going to make us half as effective. Because I presume it will be teams of 3. And, well. Yes.
We just
Oh,
Who just bedinged?
Harlan.
Fucking Harlan.
He's rejoined the Discord, but he hasn't said anything, so we...
Harlan,
Oh, hello.
ginger cunt.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello.
There.
cool, cool.
You have said
Audio
that.
fucked up, so I needed to relog.
That's fine.
Well, look. Okay, here's what I say we do. You have a yes or a no to this. There's no added additions. No, oh, maybe. We go as a group to get this griffin, all of us, and then we go to Golodon after coming back and leaving eggs here.
Oh, yeah, get the griffin, talk to the guy here, teleport back, and go to Gold.
That is the
We're
plan.
gonna be here, so we might as well just go to here.
Because at this point, we're just going to end up arguing here for 3 days, and that's just a waste of time.
We can get all this done in 2 days, correct? One day to go and get the egg, the next day to...
You can teleport to go get the egg. You will then spend that day travelling to find the nests, unless you use other modes of transport. You find the eggs, and then you have to decide what you're going to do. You've taken the eggs out of the nest and away from the griffins. You then need to transport these back to Adamanthia. A day has passed, so at that point, just as a 1 to 2 step thing. Step 1, teleport to the tree. Spend the next day travelling to the eggs. You then decide to either go by nightfall, or you choose to take a long rest, camping in the mountains, and then going and getting the eggs during the day. Either way, if you've taken a long rest, you can then use transport via plants if there's a tree nearby. Given griffin nests, they typically like to nest up trees. So you'll be able to teleport from said trees to the Enchanted Glade, at which point you can try and contact Dippy, after which you will then need to use a teleportation circle, go back to Adamanthia, hand off the eggs to whoever needs it, and then you use teleport with the assistance of whatever, relying on the fact that you're going to get to Golodon to teleport there, because teleportation is not an 100% spell.
I might have some help with that.
I've been by Golodon.
Bern.
Yeah, but I'm the one casting it. I haven't.
Yes,
been
but Chris
Yes,
has established previously
Yes,
that
I know.
there's someone
But it's
else
not
in
still
this.
100% chance, so we might just get.
I am aware.
But I
But it's the
might
best
be
chance.
able to help you with that, Bern. I need to have a chat with you. Though it might add a little bit more to the journey. It's something to bring up.
Okay, so we have our plan. Is everybody not necessarily happy with the plan, but okay with it?
I'm happy with that. That sounds like quite a tight-knit plan.
Are you okay with it? It may not be perfect, but don't let perfect get in the way.
Yes, I'm okay. I just, if something bad happens because we're not wasting time, but we're doing this in a different order. I'm just going
You're
to cry
stressing.
for a bit.
You're stressing, Sasha.
Yeah.
I could make it worse. Pulls up spoopy fruit.
I will. Yeah, you want some
Actually,
more
no, I
crushed
remember
nuts,
what
buddy?
happened last time. No. Put spoopy fruit very quickly away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone
I'm
happy?
good with that
I'm okay.
plan.
Then so be it.
Very well.
Now,
That's
good
tomorrow's
night.
job.
Good night,
Well,
everyone.
technically this is at the beginning of the day, so you could do it
No,
today.
we're doing this before we go to
Good
bed.
night.
We're doing this before we go to bed.
it is 10:30, Chris.
No, I know, but I meant you said tomorrow in character. I'm assuming, not necessarily tomorrow as in Monday.
Yeah, we'll have this. I thought we had this.
No, this is it. I've over breakfast in the morning.
Is that
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we're fine with doing that in character, but out of character.
Oh
I
yeah,
want,
out
I'm
of character.
So
Yeah,
tired.
we'll end.
out
I'm
of
just
out of character?
clarifying.
Yeah.
But you'll have this
Okay.
conversation over breakfast.
Yeah, and after it's resolved,
I do need to speak to you, Queglod, and ask you a question. Then we can head off with Malcom. Get the license.
Yeah, that's
Alright.
fine.
Yes, I
Okay.
I'll head off now. But
Yep.
yes, we can do that.
As the
Before
party
the
draws
session,
to a
I guess.
close, their decisions made, their plans set in stone, they begin to decide their next moves. They realize they're doing could very much be a heavy fate, a heavy burden. They aren't quite sure yet. Whatever they're doing, they have the resolve. They will attempt to complete. And that is where we will end our session tonight. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will see you next week when this chaos begins to unfold. Alright, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.